Let me hit that. Turn this off. And yeah, we should be live now. I think. I believe.
Hello. Hello.
Do you see it there? I think it's there. I'm pretty sure it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's there. Alright. What is going on, everyone? We're back. Active Sin here, and it's time for another week of Team Red Talks Nintendo. I am your host, Active Sin. Make sure to like the podcast, people, because we gotta share this shit, get people watching. But I want you to introduce yourselves, and we will get going. Who wants to go first? Nia can go first.
What is up, everybody? It is your girl, Nia, the video game her, and y'all are gonna have to just look past me today because I'm sick. So if I sound a little bit low, it's not the volume. It has nothing to do with the audio, because I know y'all always talk about the audio. It's me today because I'm sick and I really can't go that loud today. I guess we could talk about. I guess I just tell y'all what I've been playing, right?
Yeah, I'll go start with that.
So what I've been playing is Dauntless, of course. Y'all know I've been playing Dauntless heavy. But I've also been playing Metroid Samus Returns on 3DS, and more recently, SteamWorld Dig 2, which is amazing. Oh my god. If you played the first SteamWorld Dig, I think you're really, 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 really gonna like SteamWorld Dig 2. I feel like they really did refine. The first game was hella polished anyway. But SteamWorld Dig 2 is super, super, super refined. Like it's a very well polished, very well made game. So if y'all are on the fence about SteamWorld Dig, I could tell you, it's dope.
That's what's up.
Alright, and Kuuppon.
Hello, so I am Kuuppon, the struggle GameHer. And yeah, you know, your former diva and all that good stuff. Just the games I've been playing. Actually, I just recently played, yesterday some Mario Kart 8 for the first time in 2 centuries. And been playing more Paragon. Like, I'm on Paragon Hard Body. Like, they've been updating like crazy lately. They finally fixed the servers and stuff. It's crashing like crazy on PS4 yesterday, so I was just like, well, fuck me, I can't play. But they fixed it, so it's up, it's running. Been playing a little bit of Overwatch, but not as hard body as I would like. As far as I'm concerned, computer is on the way, PC parts incoming, and we shall be elevating soon, so I'll be playing a lot more games on PC soon.
Madam, the term is ascending.
Oh, my bad. Ascending.
I'm so excited for this.
So I'm totally excited. Got a lot of help from the friends, so that's what's up. So soon the struggle PC will be up and running. Well, I can't even call it a struggle PC at this point. Like, with the parts that Alice gave me, sure, but now, but I'm gonna still call it the struggle PC because we still struggling in video games because I suck at them. But I enjoy my time sucking at video games, and I'm sure you guys enjoy watching me suck. So that's all that's been going on in my neighborhood.
Alright, and for me, I've been playing some Nier Automata. I'm playing this Octopath Travelers while we're going to be talking today. Me and Nia were playing some Fortnite earlier, the Battle Royale mode. It's kind of like PUBG, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, we played Mario Kart yesterday. That was a lot of fun. We'll try to make that a little more consistent. There's a couple indie games coming out soon. Ruiner came out today, and Hob came out today. I want to take a look at those. And Cuphead finally comes out on Friday, so I'll definitely be beasting on some Cuphead this weekend. But other than that, not too much. I just downloaded South Park Stick of Truth. I want to finish that before the new one comes out. So yeah, that's about it. But let's get started here with some little bit of news. Somebody had a birthday today, and it's Nintendo. They turned 128 years old. They're almost as old as Canada. How crazy is that? Yeah, Nintendo is 128 years old, and now you be asking yourself, but TVs have not been around for 128 years, so how can Nintendo, a video game company, be 128 years old? Well, let me inform you. Nintendo used to make playing cards. Nintendo even used to own Love Hotels, which are things in Japan where they're essentially sex hotels. And yes, Nintendo used to own them. But now they make video games. And yeah, the world comes full circle. But it's pretty interesting. I just thought we'd talk about, like, just say happy birthday to Nintendo, I guess. They're having a great year. Last year, I didn't think they want to celebrate their birthday, but this year is a whole different year for them. So, I don't know. You guys want to move on, or want to say anything about Nintendo? Some old stuff about Nintendo?
Happy birthday, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And thanks for bringing me into gaming. That's what I'll say.
I think it's so funny how all of these youngsters, like, how are they 128 years old?
They don't realize how old the company is before they got into gaming. They were like a toy company. They were a sex company.
They've done a lot of stuff. Yeah.
They've been in a lot of stuff. They've been here for decades. This is why a lot of us old school gamers are so kind of hard up on Nintendo, because we grew up with them and we're like, how you gonna act like that, Nintendo, as old as you is? Yeah. They're literally the grandfathers of the video game at this point.
And they're doing big things in the years forward. We know they're going to be expanding into amusement parks. They're going to be expanding into the movies, possibly anime, more manga stuff, because they already have a Splatoon manga. But they're diversifying, and it's cool, because normally they don't have too much shit going on at once. So it's exciting time to be a fan of Nintendo, because they are firing on all cylinders lately. But let's move on to some games that have come out to the Switch. This game just released today, Sign Mora X. It's kind of like a twin-stick shooter game. It's on PC and Xbox and PlayStation as well. But it came out today. It's $30 on the eShop. It looks like a pretty fun game. The only problem I have with this is it's $30 on the Switch, but it's $10 on PC and $20 on Xbox and PS4. So the pricing's a little strange, because it's a digital title only. So for some reason the Switch tax is still in full effect, even though it's not a physical game. But the game itself actually looks pretty fun. This apparently is a remastered version with English language, because I believe it's a Dutch game. And they added in a co-op mode, and there's some other small stuff, but there's like a remastered version which dropped today, so that's pretty cool. It says here they increased it to 16:9 aspect ratio, local co-op, and 3 new versus modes. So that's pretty cool. Have you guys heard of this game before?
Not me, at least. Ow.
Yeah, I only heard about it recently, but this kind of game looks kind of up my alley, but I don't want to spend $30 on it when I can get it for $10, so...
If you can get it for $10, yeah, that's strange.
They talked about it in the April Direct. I remember it from then.
Yeah, I remember seeing it, but they didn't talk too much about it, though. But, yeah, once they get the pricing on par with the other versions, then I think it's worth a pickup, because obviously you can take it around on the go, and you'll have local co-op on the go, which is pretty sweet. But for $30, I think it's a hard sale, but it'll probably go down in price fairly quickly anyways. But let's move on to something super exciting, and that is Stardew Valley has been approved by Nintendo, and the release is imminent. So,
yay!
A tweet was tweeted out here: Stardew Valley Switch update. We've been approved, working on finalizing a release date with all parties involved. We'll continue to inform. So it looks like Stardew Valley is in the final stages to be released on the Switch. I think it's going to be a silent release, because they have not been showing this game on the directs or anything, which is kind of strange, because this is a very high profile indie game. But I'm fairly certain we're going to see this game within October, latest November. If they're already this far along. I don't think it's going to be a 2018 game. But yeah, if you're looking Stardew Valley, it's going to be coming out soon. You guys excited for some Stardew?
Yeah, boy. Actually, yeah, I am. It looks good. I want to try it out. I wish they had a demo, though. I just kind of want to demo it, but yeah, I'm excited.
They might have a demo. Who knows?
They might. Who knows?
I'm playing a demo right now.
Are you?
Isn't Stardew Valley one of those like Minecraft type? Or is it the Harvest Moon?
Stardew Valley
like
is like Harvest Moon.
Yeah, it's like a Harvest Moon.
But way more in depth than Harvest Moon.
I've actually never played a game like that, so I don't really know if I'm excited or not, because I'm not really well versed on the genre.
I used to go
But I
hard
mean,
body into
yeah,
Harvest Moon, so I probably
yeah,
really enjoy this game. I've never actually played it though, so who knows?
yeah. But I do know that there's like a huge
The sword
community
thing.
of people that swear about this game.
Mm-hmm.
So for this game to be on the Switch, to have like to allow, because it has a very strong fan base. So if their fan base can get a hold of this, that's gonna be huge, I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, big news. I know. I'm excited for this in the fact that I had to go buy my woman a Switch just for this game. Otherwise,
She was gonna
she was
confiscate
gonna
your
steal my Switch, so I had to go buy a second one. And it was mainly for this one game, so hopefully this comes out soon, because she keeps asking me, where the hell Stardew, where the hell Stardew? I'm like, I don't know, leave me alone! But,
I don't make the decisions.
I don't
woman.
make the games, woman! Goddamn! But let's move on. Here's a random picture of Reggie and Doug Bowser, and for some reason they're standing really far apart. I'm not sure why. There's a big gap in the middle there, and it looks like Doug Bowser trying to reach over to Reggie, but he just can't reach. I don't know why they don't just stand closer to each other. But that's just a strange little picture I wanted to show you guys.
Okay. Funny.
But yes, as you know, you can see Mr. No, You Can't See Me, John Cena's hanging out with Reggie and Bowser. Pretty cool. Probably gonna promote more WWE 2K18 with them, which is exciting. That game comes out in October, and I'm really looking forward to picking that game up because I love my wrestling and I love my Switch. And take my wrestling on the go on my Switch is a perfect recipe. Are you guys excited for John Cena hanging out with Reggie? Maybe Reggie's gonna make him some pizzas or something.
I don't care. I don't care.
I'm not a wrestling fan, so
I don't care. I don't like John Cena for one thing, and I don't really care about Reggie. So there you go. Two things I don't give a shit about. Awesome.
Goddamn.
oh my god.
Goddamn.
Can we at least agree that Doug Bowser has like the best name ever to be working
Oh,
on?
I like. Yeah, he got a cool
They should
name.
force him to wear a turtle shell. That should just be his thing. On top of his suit, he should just have a turtle shell backpack. That'd be amazing.
Well, on his Twitter, like he's got a picture of Bowser as his avatar.
He should. Why wouldn't he?
He does. That's why it's so funny.
That shit's awesome.
Because remember when he first was, when they first announced that he was working at Nintendo, everybody was making all these memes and putting like Bowser's head on his body. He actually made that his avatar.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Embrace it, I guess.
Even though I don't care about John Cena, though, I do want to at least talk about it because there's people who watch it who really actually care about this wrestling thing. I will say this though. One thing that I really, really like that Nintendo was doing this generation that they didn't really do so much last generation is that they're actually going out of their way to advertise these third-party games. I was always one of those kind of people that felt like, there's a lot of people who simply will not buy third-party games on Nintendo because they're usually not the best, they're better versions. But there's also a large majority of people out there who just don't know that these games are on their platforms. Because I think I was playing Injustice one day on stream. It was either Injustice or it was Tekken Tag Tournament 2. And I was streaming it, playing with some people. And some people were like, what system are you playing this on? And I was telling them that I was playing it on the Wii U, and they were like, "This game is on the Wii U."
Right.
And they were like, I didn't even know this game was on the Wii U. I just got a Wii U like last year or something like that. And it just really just kind of goes to show that, when you start putting more emphasis on these games that also come into Nintendo, I mean, it does make an impact because there are some people out there that don't really follow games media as closely as we do. So they don't really know something is coming unless, somebody like John Cena makes an appearance or if Nintendo directly says it on like their Twitter or something. Everybody doesn't have time to follow these little individual Nintendo sites and stuff like that just to kind of figure out, okay, like what's coming to the systems and stuff like that. So
yeah, like just for reference, John Cena has 10 million Twitter followers. That's insane. So like having John Cena be there alongside Reggie and Doug Bowser at Nintendo or wherever the hell they are, talking about the Switch promoting games, that's a big deal. That's stuff they don't normally do. They never did that shit during the Wii U. So like, these are big steps. It's good to see them do shit like this. So it's important.
Yeah,
Very important. But yeah, let's move on. Let's see here. Another game got announced for the Switch. Attack on Titan 2. Awesome. I played the first game. It was actually pretty fun. Kind of repetitive, but hopefully they fix that with this second one. But yeah, it's coming out. I think it comes day and day with the other versions. It says your first Attack on Titan came out in February, blah, 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 blah. On PlayStation and Xbox, Attack on Titan 2 will release in early 2018. Okay, so it doesn't actually say when it's coming out. Sometime in 2018. Hopefully it's alongside the other versions. But yeah, this is cool. Another game announced for Switch. Did you guys play the first Attack on Titan?
I did not. I missed out on that one, but I do want to check this one out. Looks good. Looks interesting. Hopefully they do fix those issues they had, because damn it. But yeah, I'm going to check it out. I definitely want to hit that up. Love the anime. If you haven't watched it and you're an anime fan, you suck. Go watch it.
Yes. Attack on Titan, the anime is awesome.
The first season.
The first season. The
second season, I mean, it's not horrible, but it needs some work.
It's pretty wishy-washy.
It's a lot of like, what the fuck? Why? Okay.
Yeah, I was not too happy with the second season. Well,
like, I didn't dislike it, but I did not like it like I did the first season. I was just like, why are we doing this? Okay. Kind of got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, but pretty cool. We'll see when it comes out how it holds up against the other versions. This is not a graphically intensive game, so I'm expecting it'll be pretty similar. And yeah, it'll be good to see. I think this is made by Koei Tecmo, so they're trying to do their best to support the Switch, so that's cool. Yeah, let us know here, guys, in the comments. You guys excited for some Attack on Titan? Some giant ass naked men chasing you around? You cut them up with swords. But, yeah.
When you said giant.
Let's move on to Rive, an indie game made by I think it's Toki, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toki Tori, whatever. Yeah. This game's actually pretty cool. I have it on PC. It's a twin stick shooter game where you're inside a little like spider robot. It's actually pretty damn awesome. It's gonna be 1080p 60 FPS on the Nintendo Switch, which is actually better than how it runs on the PlayStation 4, so that was surprising. And yeah, it's a good game, so you guys make sure to look out for that one. It's a quality game. You definitely want to check that one, especially 60 FPS. It is buttery smooth. Can't ask for more. Really fun game. I don't know, check some trailers out or some shit. You guys played Rive?
I haven't.
Not yet. I just got the code last night.
Oh yeah, I did. I just gave Kuuppon a code for Rive, but
so I
was surprised you didn't play it, Nia. Damn. But whatever. But let's move on to a game. I know you were interested in this game, Nia. Golf Story.
Golf.
This game's coming out way sooner than I had expected. This game's actually coming out this week. I believe Thursday is dropping.
Yeah, whenever the eShop updates.
Yeah, the popular indie title Golf Story making its way to the Switch eShop, available Thursday, September 28th. I'm gonna have to pass for now. There's just too much other shit that I want that's coming out in the same week. But this game does look fun. I don't know. Are you guys getting on this one day one, or what's going on?
I don't know if it's gonna be a day one because I'm like you. There's so many games I want. That's out like
it's a surprisingly busy week for indie games.
It is. Like, freaking SteamWorld Dig just came out.
Yeah, SteamWorld Dig 2, Ruiner, Rob, Cuphead, this, like, goddamn.
Oh my goodness.
It's too much stuff. It is a cute looking game, definitely. Not my cup of tea, unfortunately, so I'll probably be passing it all together, but definitely looks good and cute. So anybody interested in RPG type game, RPG based around golf. Now, how do you do that? That's kind of clever.
That's, like, genuinely interesting to me.
That is very cool.
That's like, so interesting to
me. And that's kind of why I kind of
strange.
want to check it out, but at the same time I know I don't have that kind of time on my hand, and I'm probably not going to be able to stick with it.
I wonder how long this game is.
But I'll probably watch some like streams or something of it just to see how it goes. Like if one of you guys do decide to get it in stream,
I'm gonna fight this old man.
Like, that's a pretty clever idea, though. Think about that. Nobody ever thought about doing a golf, RPG, like, at all. So
that's so weird.
This is definitely clever. I'll give them that.
That's why it's so interesting, because it's like nobody is doing it.
It's like, huh?
It's a truly original idea. Like I want it just for that reason.
Like you basically took a sport I have no interest in and made it into a genre that I do, and it's like, how do you're curious, irregardless of whether you plan to get it or not. You're definitely curious, and you gotta give it props.
Yeah. But yeah, Golf Story, another game, interesting game for Switch. Make sure to check that out if you're interested on Thursday. So let's move on to Sony. Apparently does not consider handheld gaming to be a huge market opportunity.
Because you suck at it.
It's not for them.
Right, they suck at it.
Not for them, because this father and son here are having a blast in their little tent playing on the Switch. But let's see here. The Nintendo Switch device is a hybrid device. That's a different approach and strategy. We have not seen that as being a huge market opportunity. The Vita experience was that outside of Japan and Asia was not in huge demand. The lifestyle shift towards the dominance of smartphones as the single key device that is always with you was the determining factor. So Sony was betting on smartphones being the main platform for mobile games. And I guess
they did the
wrong.
Xperia Play thing.
Yeah, they tried to merge cell phones and handhelds with that Xperia Play phone, which was a colossal failure.
Yeah, I think it's a finesse thing with Sony. They just don't have any finesse like how Nintendo does with handheld, as opposed to you got this Vita, it's an awesome system, and you didn't support it. Then you got this extra peripheral, memory chip, which is super expensive, and it's just a lot of convoluted bullcrap that went with their side of the handheld. On Nintendo's side, you just have a freaking, you have a device. It doesn't need any extra shit. It comes with it, and you get your games. That's it. It's straightforward and simple. It's not no extra crap on the side. And so, because they basically, because Sony decided to just jump ship when it came to Vita not doing well, they just assume, handheld isn't where it's at. It's just you don't know how to do handheld. That's all there is to it. No disrespect to Sony fans out there. Don't get it, don't get it twisted. They just suck at handheld. Stick to what you know. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You don't know handheld.
It's
as simple as that.
That's it. They don't know portability, and that's why Nintendo's doing a great job hitting it out of the park with, the hybrid console that they have. It is a portable, and it is a portable that you can play on to go and on your TV. So they did it right. Simple.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, there's some other stuff here. It said he also claims that despite the Switch comfortably outselling the PlayStation 4 in Japan, the console hasn't had an impact on Sony's business. He says here, that draws me to the conclusion that they've really been addictive to the business in the last year or so. The folks at Nintendo have their strategy, and that's great. We remain focused on a highly connected gaming experience, and also coupled with having a great range of other entertainment experiences so you can reach multiple people on the big screen in the household, like that terrible Ratchet & Clank movie.
But you can't do crossplay either, but
but you know what, it is what it is.
Whatever.
I don't even know, why they think handheld gaming isn't a thing, but whatever, that's more market for Nintendo, I guess. If Sony doesn't see the value in it, if Sony doesn't see the value in it,
that's opportunity for
only
them.
a good thing for Nintendo.
Yeah, definitely.
I have to be honest, I'm slightly disappointed that they feel that way. I hope that they change their mind, because I remember how we were talking about this some time ago, what it would be like if Sony had their version of the Switch, and I would like to see that. I feel like if they did something like that, I would probably have more incentive to play Sony games, because I'm one of those kind of people.
A lot of Sony's games are really story heavy. They're not pick up and play games, so their first party titles don't translate well to handheld.
I think I would still do it though, because because Zelda,
My thing with Sony is that
but Zelda, Zelda's not super story heavy though.
It wasn't story heavy, that's one thing. But my thing with Sony and handheld, the PSP was awesome. They did a great job with that. they had a great variety of games you could play on the go and games that would have your interest in stories and things of that nature. And I think with Sony they could do it if they really put their mind to it, and they really did some research on the market and what people want as far as mobile gaming and all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is like, look at how Sony is with their at home gaming right now. It's a lot about story, a lot about graphics, and a lot about some mainstay character that no one really cares about. It's not about it's not about the indie stuff for the most part. I mean, it used to be when you first got the PS4, when it was first on the market, there was a lot of indie. Now they're kind of moving away from the indie, it seems, and they're going more like super AAA, realistic, long, short but long story type of. I don't know. It's just, I don't think that for them right now, handheld works for them. And then they're trying to deal with this VR stuff. Like, it would work if they really put their mind to it. I think they could do it. But because they don't see any value in it, they're just like, well, forget about it. And they essentially killed the Vita themselves. That wasn't us. That wasn't the media. That was them. They decided that handheld wasn't for them because they just gave up on it immediately out of the gate.
Here's the thing, though. They do have IPs that would work on
they do
mobile. They just gave up on them.
They just gave up.
They want to do all of this cinematic nonsense. So, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't ever want to take it away from Sony that they have good exclusives, but it's like they're so focused on trying to be like this super like serious. It's like you got IPs out there that could work. Yeah, like you
like Ratchet and Clank would be fine on a hybrid.
Like Jack and Daxter can come back on handheld if I can get it that way.
A game like I feel like a game like Last of Us wouldn't work. Maybe Uncharted would be okay.
I've played of Uncharted that's the first, actually that was like the first time I got introduced to Uncharted. That was on the Vita, and then I went back to play the other ones. But like, you could get like a little miniature kind of Uncharted type of deal. It works on handheld because if they cut down on the story and just kind of make it more action packed, something quick to play at the time.
Yeah, they make it like if they make it like chapter based, like
chapter
quick
based
chapters. It's kind of like that Implosion game.
And there's a lot of games on the Vita and on PSP that they made work. It's just the fact that they kind of gave up on it because they gave up on it before it got off the ground, and they didn't see quick results. And it's like companies today want quick results as opposed to giving stuff time to grow.
It's disappointing to see because like the way I see it is the hybrids are the way we should be moving forward, because giving the people the option of how they want to play the games is never a bad thing. But again, at the same time, if Sony wants to focus on strong hardware and cinematic games, like that's just is what it is.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's just what they want to do.
And they're successful at it, so like you could see why they wouldn't want to bother trying something else.
And I mean, they get the that's where they get they bucket. So
so like our buddy Dave.
I'm not mad at them for it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, definitely not. It would just be nice.
Like, you can always look at it the other way. Like Sony not being interested in it just makes the Switch that much more interesting.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I look at it.
Yeah, so I don't know with our buddy Super Metal Dave. Like he's still saying it's coming out. Maybe it is. Who knows? But like from what Sony's saying, it doesn't seem like it's happening.
They don't seem too interested.
Maybe
they scrapped the idea. They might have scrapped the idea. They were probably going to do it, and then they were just like, whatever. Let's stick with what we know. So it's cool. I mean, it only breeds competition, and competition will keep Nintendo on their toes, definitely, because we don't want them to get a big head. You're doing great with the Switch, and you get a big head, and you start slacking off. So competition it only breeds competition. So I can see the good in it, but it is what it is.
And I've always been one of those kind of gamers. It's like it's okay for these companies to have their own niche.
Their own identity too.
Yeah, like not everybody has to do the same stuff. Like people are always like, "Oh, why doesn't Nintendo do X, Y, and Z?" It's like it makes them who they are.
Yeah,
and like some of these cinematic games make them who they are. People like to crap on them, but you know what? That's their identity. That's who they are.
They do what they do.
Same with Microsoft. Their focus is multiplayer. It just is. It is what it is. It's who they are. Like if they're all the same, then
like there's no variety for us as gamers. So Nintendo is the handheld market. God or whatever. I guess. Sony is doing their they're blowing it out of the ballpark with what they're doing on their
Yeah.
end. Cinematic games. You got your third parties, you got some first party games. They're doing a great job over there.
Yeah.
Maybe Xbox isn't doing as great as we would like, but you can still play their games on PC. So that's definitely not something to scuff your nose at. I mean, at least
Yeah.
they're still available. You can still deal with Xbox on their side. So I mean, it just depends on your preferences and stuff.
Yeah. It just is what it is,
We'll
man.
see. We shall see.
Okay, so yeah, Sony, whatever. Do what you do, I guess. Switch Gang is moving on. Let's go to FIFA. FIFA 18 producer doesn't want comparisons between Switch and PS4 Xbox One version, apparently.
Don't make the game comparisons.
Let's see what they say here. So yeah, FIFA 18, I think it comes out in October. It's coming out to 360 and PS3 too, which is kind of surprising, but whatever. He says here, I've been encouraging people to play it because then they will realize that it's a really quality product. Although I've talked about it and the team has talked about it, people see us as being biased. So hey, try it, and everyone who tries it says, okay, I'm going to get this. We need people to get their hands on it. That's the frustrating thing about it. I wouldn't put this against the PS4 and Xbox One version, or vice versa. I would look at them as two individual football games. This one's biggest advantage is that you can play it on the go. This is the first FIFA I've made for a Nintendo platform, so I'm not in a position to speak about what has happened in the past. People were saying that we've never been able to pull off a FIFA on Nintendo. Even the team was feeling the pressure from past years. But once they saw the plan and we decided it should be, we all rallied around that goal. But what can I say? Is that for this one, before we started, we looked at what the platform is, what its audience is, and we looked at our own game and asked ourselves, what do we actually want to make? How do we want people to feel? Well, we came up with a few things like fun, responsiveness, fluidity, things like that.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I mean, that sounds plausible. It's definitely going to be a different game. It's not going to have the same specs and stuff as the games on Xbox and PlayStation. Obviously, that's something people should know going in. At the same time, sounds like they were looking into what us as gamers on the Nintendo side of things were like in a FIFA game and how it would work, fluidity, all that good stuff he was talking about. Is the game fun? I can get on board with that. You definitely want a game that's going to be fun. You definitely want a game that's going to be fluid and work well. I mean, does it do that? I don't know. Never played the game. Not big on sports games, but I mean, a lot of people seem to enjoy the game from what I've heard on the wayside. Seems like it works. It's doing what it does. Give it a chance. If you're a sports fanatic as far as games are concerned, check it out. Give it a chance. It's a game on the go. So, I mean, that's one thing it has going for it that the other two do not, period. You can play on the go. Like, if you're sitting somewhere and you're not, you're bored out of your mind, you got your, Switch with you, you got FIFA, and that's a game you like to play, you're good to go for a little while until you're, back on your feet and heading out the door, going where you got to go. So, I can get on board with that. They make sense.
Yeah, I guess, they want to go in a different direction with the Switch version. Obviously, visually it's not the same. It's using an inferior engine. It's missing the single-player campaign, which is why I'm not too keen on this version. But, they at least tried, I guess. I don't think it should cost the same as the other versions, because it is missing content, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But I get what he's saying. This is a different experience for FIFA, because as far as I know, there's never been a portable FIFA unless you play on a laptop. But does FIFA even go to PC? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I think it goes to PC, but whatever.
I think so.
But on console, this is the only portable way to play FIFA 18, so I guess you have to look at it that way. But if you're gonna compare it to PS4 and Xbox One, yeah, of course, visually it's not gonna look as good. But at least the frame rate is the same. They're both 60, so they got that done right. And it doesn't look terrible. It just doesn't look as good as the other versions. So
yeah, and it's missing the part, but
they did an all right job. I think they could have did better. I still feel they could have put the story mode in, but for what's there, it looks like a quality product.
Yeah.
For the content that is there, anyways. I don't know. You
Cool.
guys getting FIFA? I have like little to no
I
interest
have
in it.
no, I have no, I don't do sports games, so no, it's a nah. Sorry. Hopefully, people who do, like I said, people who enjoy sports games, support it if you can, if you feel like
Yeah,
it, if
I
it's
think
something up your
people
alley.
that
But
I think people that like FIFA will like to have the
yeah,
choice.
on
Like,
the
I think
go.
they'd love to be able to take it around with them.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, it does have that going for it. And I know a lot of people are like, well, that's the only argument a lot of people are giving is it's on the go. What is the big argument? It's you can't ignore it. It's an argument.
Oh, y'all talking about Doom?
No, I'm
No,
talking
we're
about
talking
FIFA.
about FIFA.
Oh, FIFA.
Yeah. Huh? What?
Are you interested in FIFA, Nia?
No, I'm not
On
really
the
a soccer
Switch.
player. What is the current topic? I'm sorry, I have to step out for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Talking about how EA doesn't want you to compare the Switch version to the PS4 and Xbox One version.
Why not?
Because they made it as a different experience compared to those versions. Because
Oh,
it's
no, I feel
meant
like-
they made it primarily to be a portable version.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's low key damage control.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it because it is
Yeah.
a portable version, but this wouldn't even be a problem if they had just made like the real game, like NBA 2K did.
Right. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what I was saying. Like, I still feel they're in the wrong for not putting the story mode, like, at least, like, at 60 FPS, which NBA 2K actually is not. NBA 2K is 30, which I found to be disgusting. But other than that, like, what's there looks good. It's just, like,
It's
is
like-
missing content.
It's like one company can get it right slightly, and then the other company can get the other portion right slightly, and it's like, can y'all both get them right on both ends? Like, it's like a give. It's like, it just seems like a tug of war. It's like,
I just
well, we made it, for the Nintendo Switch, and I
Mm.
get what they're saying in the article and stuff. But at the same time, like what Nia was saying, it's like low key damage controlling because it's like, did you really try hard enough to do? Did you really think that the story mode wasn't something necessary in the game? Like, you got to remember, irregardless of this system being handheld to a lot of people, first, it is a console on some level, and some people never take it out of the dock. Some people never take it anywhere with them. So you're gonna tell me that it's beneficial to us, to the people that are home, Switch console players, never taking it nowhere else, and we don't get a story mode? Like, that's how I look at it. You gotta look at the system for the full thing that it is. It's both handheld and it's a home console as well, and you cannot ignore the home console side of things just to sell your on the go, your on the go portion of the game. Okay, cool, we can play it on the go, but what if I'm at home and I just want to play a story mode? I don't get that. I can't have a story mode. I don't want to go on the go. So that's just how I look at a lot of these games. Does it have the best of both worlds? If not, you're missing something, and it's an inferior, portion to the other two, and you have to compare it to something. It's inferior to the other two because it doesn't have the story mode, and you ignore the console people at home, console people, as opposed to the on the go.
And the thing is, like, you don't hear other developers making that excuse.
Yeah.
Like, they want you to be able to play the full game, whether it's on the go or whether it's
or whatever.
And
it's like, hey, we gave you a full game, but it's also on the go, as opposed to
exactly. And I feel like that's the route that a lot of people are taking, and I think that EA knows that this is the route that other people are taking.
Yeah,
they got caught.
Yeah.
They're saying that there's some developers out there that want people to have the full experience, whether they're on the go or not. So yeah, that's just
because you're paying full price, but you're not getting the full experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then in the sense of that, how about the Wii U or the Switch taxes? How about you untax that shit and make us pay less since you gave us half a game? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now, in situations like that, you definitely should be paying $60.
Exactly. Like, it'll still sell well because it's FIFA. FIFA generally sells well, but like this wasn't a big. This wasn't a full effort from EA, regardless of what they try to tell you.
Yeah.
That's definitely the truth.
They got caught. Like,
they got caught.
2K showed them up. Bethesda showed them up. Like, these are big AAA games that are full-featured games. on the Switch.
Yeah,
so,
basically how Nia said it, damage controlling. They got caught, so
They
they
have
got to
to
make
at
a
this
statement.
point.
They got to make a statement, and their statement is don't try to compare it to the others because we
this
gave
is-
you handheld mode, and
This
it was
is
like,
the
no.
saying.
this is the only third-party game so far that's missing features.
Yeah, it's like, you mean you gave us handheld mode, but you couldn't give us, story mode? Why? Well, it's just a handheld. No, it's a handheld and a handheld you can play at home as well.
And
So,
then you see how well NBA 2K is selling. It's number one on the eShop right now.
Right.
Yeah, I think
It's
it's still on
crazy.
the number one. I think
Is
yesterday it was. It was still number one yesterday when I checked.
Oh, nice.
Well, there you go.
So I mean, it's not like the games don't sell. You got to give us a game though.
If you do it,
It's
the
essentially
right
what it is.
way,
You can't
it'll
just
be
be
a game.
throwing. You can't just be slapping some stuff together. Talking about, hey, look at it's an on the go game. No. It's not a phone. This is not a phone. It's not a mobile phone. It's a fucking console still. In the essence of the sense, it's still a console to a certain degree. So you got to treat it that way. Whatever you can do in the game to make it more fluid, playable, fun, and all that stuff, great. But don't take stuff out.
Yeah.
Like their support so far has been pretty
So.
pretty lackluster.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. They're gonna have to do better next time. I
According
guess.
to Real Gamer, it's still number one.
What's number one?
Oh, the
NBA
NBA
2K.
2K. Yeah, it's still
Okay,
number one.
well,
Cool.
That's good.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Okay. Let's move on from EA. Put some more games on the Switch, EA.
Fuck EA. No.
Fuckers. All right. Oh, God damn it, Reggie again. All right, Reggie.
Oh my God.
Says Nintendo is constantly looking to disrupt the industry. Let's see what Reggie has
Oh
to
my
say.
God, I don't like Reggie anymore. Get rid of him.
Okay, so I'm just going to read from the start here. Nintendo has been involved in the gaming industry for 3 decades at this point. The company has contributed a lot to the gaming over the years. One thing that makes Nintendo stand out from its competitors is its unique nature. This is just a bunch of smoke blowing. Okay, so he says, so why does Nintendo take this approach? That question was asked to Reggie. Reggie responded with, we're constantly looking to disrupt the industry. We're constantly asking ourselves, what can we do that's differentiated? That's the consumer wants, but doesn't know they want. You mean like the Wii U, I guess.
Shoot.
Nobody wanted that.
that is their biggest strength. It's also their biggest weakness.
Their biggest weakness. Oh my God.
Because when it bombs
It
hard.
bombs. And if it's good, it really. There's never any on the fence with Nintendo. It's one or the freaking other. If they do a great job, they're blowing it out of the ballpark. If they do a horrible job, it is shit. And Wii U will tell you that was shit. And then you got the Switch immediately after the Wii U, and it's doing great. There's no on the fence. Either you like the damn thing or you fucking don't. Period.
Right. Yeah, they got it right with the Switch. Like, it's definitely different than the other 2 consoles in a good way. Like the Wii U was different too, but in a bad way.
Yeah, I mean, it had the idea, but they did it wrong. It
Right.
had the idea, but they totally didn't execute it right. It got.
Well, the technology also isn't great because you can't.
Yeah, definitely.
People like to say the experience is the same as the Switch, but like, no, it's not. You can barely
The
take that
Wii
thing
U
into a different room.
I think the problem is that the Wii U, they kind of like, the Wii U was like their earlier idea of what they were trying to get with the Switch, and they weren't quite there yet. And then at the same time, they were it's like they should have just ignored they shouldn't even went with the Wii U. They should have stuck with the Wii for a little longer. It'd have just been a long generation on the Wii. Sucks to be you, but at least after that, they could have gotten it right with the Switch. And also, with what we got going on today, we probably would have been in like the 2nd, 3rd year of the Switch now with awesome freaking it could have been interesting. But it is what it is. You learn from your mistakes, and either you rise from it or you fall completely. And they rose to the occasion. They had their backs against the wall, and they were like, "Fuck, we got to do something, and we got to do it now."
Yeah, they definitely got it right this time. The quote-unquote gimmick makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
People understand it immediately. It fits into their lives. This is all stuff we've said before, just because it's the truth. They got it right. They didn't get it right last time, but it's because they want to disrupt the market that they even try stuff like this, which again is one of their biggest strengths. And it's a big succeeding for them, because while Sony and Microsoft are just pushing 4K for some unknown reason, other than to sell you TVs. Like, Nintendo's actually trying to improve the way you play games, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, Reggie, I give you no credit because you don't actually do anything, but we're gonna
Right. You do nothing. Nothing, sir.
You do nothing, Reggie, except hold games away from us. But let's move on. LA Noire got a Japanese release date. I'm not sure if this game will do well in Japan at all. It doesn't seem like a game they'd like.
I know.
But apparently it's 1080p in docked mode and 720p in handheld mode, so that's cool because
Not bad.
that means it's an improvement over the 360 and PS3 versions because those were not in 1080p. It's coming out in Japan in December 7th, so maybe ours is the same day? I'm not quite sure. It says the game will cost almost 5,000 yen. I guess that's 50
That's
bucks.
about 50, around 50
Yeah.
bucks, yeah.
Blah blah blah. It's the same price as the PlayStation 4 version, but in Japan they don't have the Switch tax. Interesting. Take-Two confirmed that runs at 1080p in dock mode. Okay, so yeah, there's no word on frame rate, but let's be real, this game's probably 30
It's
FPS.
probably gonna be 30 FPS.
But this is like a cinematic game, like, and this is one of those games.
But I mean,
where I don't
1080
think
30, I
60
can't.
FPS
1080
matters.
30, I can deal with. That's
In this style of game, it doesn't matter.
It's not gonna be that big a deal, yeah.
You guys interested in LA Noire? I've never played LA Noire.
I've
so I'm
never
not sure.
played it. I am curious about it. Depending on if it's gonna be, if it's gonna get the Switch tax or not, I might pick it up. Maybe not. It's not something high on my radar. It just depends on when it comes out and what games are out at the time, and a lot of other stuff. But I might have to skip this one, or I'll pick it up at a later date.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really been into those type of games.
Yeah,
The
like
super story heavy type.
I just would rather
games.
get GTA.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they want to bring any other game, it probably wouldn't be this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too super interested in this. I heard it's a good game, but like, I don't know. It just doesn't. Seem
And I don't know. It's
interesting to
just like the thing. The issue I have as well is I can pick it up literally at GameStop right now for $1.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Like that's my biggest issue. It's like, and it's gonna still look the same. They haven't really done anything specifically wowing to me as far as the graphics.
Switch specific things.
There
I
are,
think
there's
motion
definitely
controls,
that,
a
but
touchscreen or something. But
yeah, but it's not enough for me to justify
that's a
spending a
huge
full
jump in
price.
money.
Yeah, that's not enough for me to justify spending a full price when I could just go kind of backwards compatibility type deal.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem for a lot of people with the
For a
Switch,
lot of
because
people,
there's a lot of games that are being ported to the Switch which are way cheaper on other platforms.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's
I
not-
wouldn't
it's not
blame
a big deal
anybody.
if you own only a Switch, but if you're a
Right.
multi-console owner, it's a hard pill to swallow.
You
Like,
can
I could buy it for
definitely get it.
$60 here, or I could buy it for $10 or $20 over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't fault anybody for wanting to check the game out elsewhere, and just getting it in from their, for people who are collectors, for the most part, gamers, they tend to have old school gaming consoles and be like, well, I just pick it up for cheap at the store or something, and mom and pop store, and I'm good to go. So I can't fault you guys for that if that's what you want to do. But for people who own a Switch and Switch only, and you want to try the game out and you missed it, from former generations, then definitely check it out if you can, shell out the extra cash, I guess. But for me, I think I'm probably gonna pass. I think there's going to be some games coming. I think I'm going to be in Xenoblade World around that time. It said December 7th. But then I don't know what time it comes out for us over here. So I don't know. It just depends when it comes out.
December 7th? Oh my god. You're right. Xenoblade.
I'm going to be in Xenoblade World. I'm sorry. We all going to be there. Y'all ain't going to hear from us. Ain't going to be no Mario Kart 8.
It's a strange world where we actually have to take priorities for games. Like, because there's just too much shit coming out at the same time.
There's a lot of shit coming out, and that's the dilemma that I wanted to just kind of point out real quick. When people talk about droughts and stuff, there's nothing to play, and then when there's actually an influx of a lot of games, and there's just too many games to play, I'm not complaining. I'm glad for it, but at the same time, a lot of games are going to go under the radar because there's just too many out for any one person to just be like, oh, let me get that, let me get that, let me get that. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a backlog upon backlog. Like, I have a backlog that I don't even want to talk about right now from games from last generations and shit that even if I was to play them. So I don't know, we'll see, but I'm probably gonna pass on this one.
Okay, LA Noire, we'll see. Hopefully it is a success, I guess. Like, I don't want it to fail or anything. I just want I just don't care about this game. The game I do care about is what we're about to talk about next.
Yep.
Oh, be still my heart, Grand Theft Auto 5. May be
If this is
seeing
a
a
thing,
Nintendo Switch release. This
I
is a
hope
rumor.
so.
Take it with salt.
Definite
But
salt.
the man who released this rumor is the same man who revealed that LA Noire was coming well before it was officially announced.
Oh
And everybody
wow.
thought he was crazy. Like, what?
Everyone thought he
no
was
way.
crazy, but it's the same guy. So according to NeoGaf member Vern, aka Nibel from Twitter, I actually follow that guy, he's interesting. Anyone who wants to see Grand Theft Auto 5 hit the Nintendo Switch just needs a little patience. Which indirectly suggests that Rockstar could very well be working on GTA 5 port for the Nintendo Switch.
They had to
Which
put out LA Noire
would be
first.
amazing, and we're gonna
That would-
squash all the it can't run on the Switch because it was on the 360 and the PS3, so it didn't run on the Switch. Don't even start with
Right.
that. We've already known that Grand Theft Auto 6 is years away. Rockstar's confirmed this, and that's simply because they're making so much money off GTA 5's online. So
Yep.
having it
You
put
already
onto the
know.
Nintendo Switch would be a whole other revenue stream. So that's
Yep.
just another reason
They
why I think
have
it's coming.
made.
They
have
made a
so
lot of
much
money on this game. So
Yeah.
much money on this game.
They've made a disgusting.
It's a
amount of
cash
money
cow
on it.
for them, and
Yeah.
they're not interested in 6 right now
They're-
at all.
Why would they be? There's too much.
I
money.
don't blame them. I don't blame
I
them.
don't blame them at
I mean, I don't plan on doing the online, payment stuffs or whatever, but I'll play it online from time to time. But
Yeah,
yeah,
those
I
little
had
shark cards or whatever. They're making a ton of
Yeah.
money from that stuff.
I played the game before, and it's hella fun. I gotta finish the freaking story. So if they bring it to Switch, it's a done deal.
Yeah,
It's a done deal.
that is one of my top priority games for the Switch.
Yeah, if they bring that up, if they bring GTA 5 over, then after that, the argument about any other game coming to the Switch and can't handle it on the Switch, I'm done with them arguments. I'm not even gonna get into those arguments. Oh, it can't handle GTA 5. Shut the fuck up. Wolfenstein 2. Shut the fuck up. Doom. Shut the fuck
obviously,
up. Like
it would be 30 FPS like the
That's
Xbox
fine.
One and PS3
yeah.
version, which is whatever.
Right.
Or PS4 version, my bad. But it is what it is. Like a version of GTA they could take around with you. That is amazing.
Hell yeah! Like, can you imagine just sitting, waiting for a doctor's appointment or something? You're playing GTA 5, and
Yeah,
motherfucker
that's
next to you is just
awesome.
looking at you like, what the hell?
And
like,
GTA 5 is one of those games where it is pick up and play, so you can
Yeah, you could pick it
enjoy
up.
it portably. Like there's a lot of games that I find don't work portably, but GTA 5 is one of those games that would
you
work.
just pick it up, start, dicking
Yeah,
around and
exactly.
stuff, and then, when it's time for your appointment, you press pause or whatever, turn off the game, go about your business, and then go back into it later when you get home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it works. So if this is true, being that it is a rumor right now, but the guy, he called it on LA Noire, so that's cool. So yeah, we'll
that's
see when it
why-
happens.
That's why we're even talking about it, is because he was right about LA Noire.
Right,
Otherwise,
gotcha.
I wouldn't even be bringing this up, because I
Yeah.
don't generally talk about rumors.
Yeah.
But this seems credible.
Could-
Like, the
Seems
timing's
credible.
right.
We'll see.
They're
Yeah.
already doing LA Noire. They're not making
And
GTA
if they
6 anytime
announce
soon.
it,
So
when do you
it's
think
cool.
they would announce it?
This would
Like, if
probably
it's-
be a 2018 game, though.
Well, yeah, definitely. But when do you think they
Yeah.
would announce it coming to this, like
Oh,
it being on the Switch,
like
an
officially
announcement?
announce it?
Yeah. When do you what do you think event would probably kind of, I don't know, would they have like a direct, another direct, and announce it then?
This game is so
No.
big, it would have to be announced at a direct.
Doesn't Nintendo usually have like January directs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I could see
They
them
might have
doing
another
that
one
in
this
games
year
every
before the
year.
year's out, though. I think.
true.
I think they might have one more. So if it's to be a thing, we might see it in another direct before the year is out. Is what
How
I'm
many
assuming.
directs have we had already this year?
We had
quite a
2
few.
so far. If you don't count the E3 stuff. Wait. Yeah, I think so. One before, and then one after. I
Yeah.
think.
We've had
Yeah,
2 or 3,
2.
something like
About
that.
2 in. About 2 in.
But yeah,
We get
there's
about
no
3 or
way
4
that game is
years.
just going to be announced on its own on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah, it's not gonna be unless it
too
just
high profile.
like they better not fuck it up. Don't fuck it up as far as the announcement. Like this is a rumor right now, so that's
'Cause,
great.
like, even the way that
Yeah.
LA Noire was announced was kind of shit. It was just like
Yeah.
appeared on Rockstar's website. And that was like,
Yeah, that
really?
don't
That's
do
it?
that again.
That's
Don't do
lame.
that again. Yeah, don't do that again. Oh, it's here. It's like
It's
really,
coming.
you guys. Like, You know, like I get it. You got articles out rumor mill is a buzz, but don't jump on that rumor mill. Nintendo, Rockstar,
Right.
make it an event. When
True.
Nintendo has their next event, make the announcement then. So what about rumors right now? Because that's all it is. We can get excited and speculate to our heart's content, but until it's official, it's not. So we'll see. Hopefully they do right by GTA 5, because that definitely shouldn't just be posted on their website and be like, hey, it's a thing.
Yeah. Well, either way, like all the websites will cover it anyways, but I think it deserves to be spotlighted on a direct.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Because that is one of the biggest third-party games ever. So
Like,
I'm
in that
excited.
game-
to get that, they need to make a big
Cautiously
deal about
optimistic. We'll see
In
what
that
happens.
game, that game is still selling.
it. Yeah, that game is
Yeah.
still always. I don't think it's ever been off the
Like,
top 10.
that's crazy.
I know
Since
one
its
thing.
release
I
back
know
in
a lot of
2013.
people that like trade that game in and buy it a lot. Like when I was still working at GameStop, I saw this one dude who would come in, sell that game, get something else, come back and buy the game again, then come back a couple weeks later, sell it again. So there's people constantly buying this game all the time.
Clearly, it's always on the top 10 NPD. Like people are
So-
constantly buying Grand Theft Auto 5.
So they're always buying it.
It's
So
pretty nuts.
I think it's a smart move on Rockstar's part, because they're like, look, we're making money off of this thing. Switch is hot. Let's see what we can do. Throwing it on the Switch, we can get another revenue, another
Grand Theft Auto
revenue
5
stream.
obviously has made money hand over fist, and even if it was to bomb on the Switch, it's not like they'd even notice.
They wouldn't really notice.
Exactly.
They're still going to be making money off the other platforms, irregardless. So I think their thought is, hey, irregardless of that, we can make some kind of extra money on the side with Nintendo users or whatever. So let's just make this
You don't
thing.
think people would buy that? Like,
But I think
somebody
people
was
would.
of
like,
course they would.
They're gonna buy
who's
it.
gonna say that? Oh, nobody's gonna buy this. Like, you're crazy if you don't think people are not gonna want to play Grand Theft Auto
Grand
and
Theft
like
Auto on the-
waiting in
on the
line or
Switch.
something at the
Yeah, like Grand Theft Auto 5
Hell,
on the
people
go
who
is
have it
like
on other
probably one of the
consoles.
best on the go games you can have.
Yeah, people who have other consoles and stuff
They'd still buy
who
it.
have a Switch, they're gonna buy it on freaking Switch.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like they're gonna be like, oh hell yeah, I'm getting this on the Switch. So they'll start over. They don't care.
yeah. Because that game, like, even with the Joy-Cons and stuff, there's not so many buttons you have to press at the same time.
Right.
So it's not going to cramp your hands up nearly as much as some other games would. So it's one of those games that will work on the Switch, I feel. But we'll see. I think it's coming. It's just a matter of time at this point.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, it's not a big deal. But I would love it to be a big deal. I want it to be a thing. Right in the streets if it doesn't make it.
Alright, so let's move on to Digital Foundry and Super Mario Odyssey, which is exciting. They released a video today showing off some docked footage that they've analyzed. Apparently the game is running at 900p now. The last time we saw it, it was 720p, so they've actually made some improvements. And it's a solid 60 FPS, damn near throughout the entire game, with only a couple hiccups here and there, but it's very minimal.
So it is 900p 60 frames per second?
Yeah, 900p 60 FPS docked, 720 60 in handheld. There
That's
are
nice.
other drawbacks to playing in handheld mode, like the draw distance is not as much. There's
Right.
definite, you can definitely notice that stuff is missing from the background.
Right.
I don't want to play the video here because we'll get copyrighted or whatever, but
Right.
check out the video later. They actually show you side-by-side screenshots of dock mode and handheld mode. It is very noticeable. So I would probably play this game mostly in dock mode, but if it's on handheld, I don't think you'd really notice too much regardless.
Yeah.
The game is running 60 FPS, which makes me happy. That is,
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
And the fact that they got it running up from 720 up to 900, it's only been a couple months since the last time we saw it.
That's good.
That's really good.
That's
Also,
really
be warned, the trailer or whatever, their video shows a lot of spoilers. So, you see a lot of enemies and areas we've not seen yet, so I don't know why they were allowed to show this. But it is what it is, so I'm just letting you know there are spoilers in this video. But yeah, it's cool. I'm excited. This game looks amazing.
That's good. I'm glad they got it
Beautiful,
working.
And 60 FPS is just a fantastic thing. They could not
I'm
stop
just
praising the
excited.
game. It's coming out
I'm
next
just
month, so I can't believe it's so close.
That's so close.
We're literally like 30 days away, because it's October 27. We're on October 26 right now. So, we're on September 26, so we're like a month away from playing Mario Odyssey. So
Mario. Oh my god. Ah, I'm so excited.
That's crazy.
can't wait.
Time.
Crazy. these
60
games
FPS.
are really coming out because I know how we were kind of like, you know, we were kind of like, you know, well, when we first got the Switch. I'm sorry, I'm jumbling up more words.
Yeah.
When we first got the Switch, we were just kind of like, man, like, we know all of these games are coming out, but like they're not here yet. But like
Right.
they're finally getting here. So
Took a while, but we're here now. We're here. We've arrived, y'all.
Yeah.
Games.
People in the chat, make sure to hit that like button. We got like 3 dislikes already for some reason. Probably because I said waifus. I don't know. But anyways.
Every time you say
waifu,
waifu, it's a
talk
dislike.
about the waifus.
You guys hyped for Mario Odyssey?
Oh hell yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a day one.
That is the hype.
This is definitely gonna be a game of the year contender. So,
Yeah.
I'm very excited. But let's move on. Mario Odyssey is gonna be amazing. We all know this. But let's move on to Doom. Doom on the Switch is real. We are all excited about Doom, but it does come with some drawbacks. We're going to talk about the drawbacks right now. Doom is 720p in docked mode or in undocked mode, and it's all on one cartridge, which is cool for the single player. They're actually using the 16GB cart instead of the 8GB cartridge, so that's good. If you want to play multiplayer, you download it separately for 9 gigs. But Doom multiplayer sucks, so whatever, who cares? The single player is all on the cartridge, so that's good. It says here, unsurprisingly, there's no motion aiming. I'm actually surprised by that. I kind of expected there to be.
They don't have the motion aiming?
There's no motioning. I thought they were going to add it in, but I guess
thought they would have did that.
Unsurprising according to these guys.
Come on, Splatoon. Just ask the Splatoon guys how they did it.
Yeah, because the biggest drawback, which is weirdly missing from this article here, is that the game runs at 30 frames per second, which is half the frame rate of any other version. That's a big drawback. We've seen the game running in off-screen mode, and we've all seen the videos. IGN, GameSpot, all these guys are pumping out videos. The game looks visually inferior. That's to be expected. That's I think we all knew that's going to happen. We all called that. But the drop in frame rate is pretty annoying. It still looks playable. From what I saw, it looked alright, but Doom is a very fast-paced game. This game definitely, the only reason to buy this game is to play it portably. Because like, if you're planning on playing this game in dock mode only, just don't waste your time. Because there's so many other versions that will look better and play better.
Well, some people don't really mind.
No,
They're like,
I
if
mean,
I
you
have
can
at
still
least
probably
the opportunity to take it with me, then that's all that matters to them. I'm not gonna discourage.
I'm not gonna discourage people from getting if this is a game you want,
that's not what I'm
definitely
saying.
get.
I'm saying get what you want, but like if your primary function is to play this in desktop mode
And just dock
mode, like you only want to play in dock mode, this version is the worst version. Like the benefit of this game is playing it on the go, clearly.
Yeah.
Because everything else about it is pretty bad. And not only that, unfortunately, it is going to be releasing as a $60 game. Whereas it's $10 on PC and it's $30 on Xbox and PS4. So that's unfortunate. It'll probably go on sale quickly because Doom went down in sale on the other versions fairly quickly. So maybe try to pick it up at $30 because that'll probably only take 2 months or something. But it's unfortunate. Like, it's still super impressive that the game runs on the Switch. I still think that's kind of amazing. But only in portable mode. Like in dock mode, I'm not all that impressed, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, I'm still interested. We'll see how it goes.
I
I think I'm gonna wait to see when someone else gets it, because I'm sure somebody else will pick it up and I'll check their stream, see how it's running, and ask them some questions and stuff. Whatever. I'm not worried about that person, but other people, I'll check their stream, see how it's running, ask them some questions, and if it's sounding good, everything's good, I might pick it up myself, because, it's always good to have a little FPS on the go.
Yeah, I'm sure on the go it's gonna be fine, but at home, I just can't see it being fun.
Well, yeah, I would definitely see the difference. Like, if you got this on PC and you try and play this, not handheld, but just dock mode at home.
I guess if you've never
be better
played
off
it before, you probably wouldn't even notice. But
you wouldn't notice, yeah.
For me, I've played this game already. I've played it on the ultra settings, 1080 with 60 FPS. To me, it's very noticeable, the difference.
Yeah.
But that's me, I guess. I know Terminator Juice has the same issue. As I watched this video, he's having the same problem I have. Because for me and him,
He's
it would be
playing
like
on
double
PC.
dipping.
Yeah.
For me, it makes no sense because I bought Doom for like $15, and if I was to buy it for the Switch, it'd be $80, and it has half the frame rate and lower resolution.
No.
And just to have it portable, that doesn't make sense to me.
That doesn't make any sense.
But it is what it is. Like, I'm sure if you've never played the game, I think you'll enjoy it because it is a fantastic game. I think everyone should play Doom. Even if you don't like shooters, you should still play Doom because it's awesome.
Just play it anyway.
Just play goddamn Doom, damn it.
Somebody was trying to tell me that whenever they first displayed the freaking Doom gameplay on the Switch,
Yeah.
the game is going so fast you can't even tell that it's 30. I'm like, no, dude.
No, that's not true.
That's not even a thing. Like, no.
Like, they're
Well,
obviously going to
like-
implement more motion blur to handle the 30 FPS, but that game is so fast-paced that it's going to be noticeable. I notice it.
You will notice it. Like, there's
Like,
no
that's
getting
what I
around
don't
that.
like. I don't like when people lie like that. Why are you
Like,
lying?
you'll notice. You're gonna notice it. If you put the game side by side with like the proper specs and then the specs from playing side by side, you'll notice the difference. Sure, it might play well for you if you've never played it before, but you're going to notice the difference if you've been with the superior version of the game, and then you suddenly dumb it down and you go with the inferior version. You're going to notice the difference.
Right.
And
I don't think it was you, Keith. I think you would know better to say something like that.
so I don't know.
Keith, what you said was something about the 720p because of the small screen. That's what you said. You didn't say anything about frame rate.
Portable on 720p, like the screen is 720p.
Doesn't
It's not going to be
matter.
higher
Yeah.
than that anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm talking about dock mode. The dock
Yeah,
mode of
just
this
dock
game
mode.
is bad. Like, the only
Like,
real reason to
portable
play
is
this
gonna
game
be-
is portably.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine on portable because it's a smaller, it's a smaller version, and they made it for that version. I think they made it mostly for the portability, and tried their best to kind of make it run well on the for dock mode, and that's fine. It's whatever. Yeah. But the game altogether itself, the core game is a great game, and I
Right.
would say pick it up if you've never played it. And you can spare the extra cash, and you don't really care about frame rate and all that stuff, then yeah, pick it up, enjoy it, have fun. You'll never notice, I guess.
Let's see here.
What is this demon you're fighting?
This is the boss. He's a fucking annoying guy.
Oh,
Okay, well, let's move on from Doom. Yeah, Doom's coming out this year. I think they haven't announced it yet. I think it's December or something. But yeah, if you've never played Doom and you only have a Switch, get this version. If you're a multi-platform gamer, I would suggest getting it elsewhere, unless your main priority is playing it on the go. But let's move on to. I know you guys want to talk about this. Fire Emblem Warriors Waifu DLC,
Warriors.
Waifu Warriors has been announced.
Oh my gosh.
And you have new waifus, wedding dresses, and weapons. This is a dumpster fire. Let's get into it. So Nintendo has announced a slate of DLC for Fire Emblem Warriors, the hack and slash Switch, and new... I keep forgetting this thing is on the 3DS. That is so funny. 3 additional content packs following its release, which include new characters and weapons from different Fire Emblem titles. I don't think they're different, but okay.
no.
The game's first pack is scheduled to arrive this December. Oh damn, I get DLC in this like a month after the game comes out. That's crazy.
Wow.
And features content inspired by the series. Most recent new installment, Fire Emblem Fates. DLC Pack 2 will follow in February. It includes characters from Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, and the final DLC pack arrives a month later in March and is themed after Fire Emblem Awakening. And here is Lucina in her wedding dress, her
Ew.
stupid waifu weeb trash dress. So you can all fulfill your weirdo fantasies, I guess. The DLC
you can
packs,
pet her.
you can
That's
pet her
hilarious.
and do other creepy stuff.
Yeah,
Each
speaking
of these
shit.
3 DLC packs are individually priced at $9, or you can also buy the season pass for $20 total, so you save $10 if you were instead to buy them individually. In addition to the DLC plans, Nintendo has announced several new characters who will be playable in Fire Emblem Warriors. During Tokyo Game Show, the company revealed 3 new heroes: Seda, Waifu, Tiki waifu.
Waifu.
And Celica, another waifu,
Another
earlier
waifu.
this month. Nintendo announced the fan favorite hero Lyn, the only non-waifu in here, for a Game Boy Advance, who will also be playable. Let's take a look at some pictures here.
So, who's eating the cake? Because I don't see no Ike.
Look at this bitch. She's even got her mouth open, ready to go. Let's go. Next picture.
Oh my god.
There she's pledging her life to you. She's gonna marry you. All this other dumb waifu shit.
Oh
Let's
my
move on
god.
to the next one. Here's some redhead ginger hoe. Let's move on. There she is again, giving you that sly smile. She's ready for the D, I guess. So yeah, what do you guys think? Waifu Warriors.
This is an abomination. Like
Dumpster fire game.
I was so sure they would get this right. Fire Emblem Warriors. How can you mess this up? Oh, I know. Introduce the Waifu Warriors in disguise.
God.
Like, oh my god, this Wii crap. Like, I get it. There's a lot of female characters in this game, and this coming from a female herself who enjoys seeing more female characters. My god, where is Ike?
That's
Of all the,
already
where, and you have a big franchise of Fire Emblem characters and across a bunch of different stories.
Like
and you
15 games, bro.
And you mean to tell me this is all you can snag with some waifu bitches?
I guess.
Let's get
So annoying.
fucking annoying. Every time they announce someone, I'm just like, what waifu is it today?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I don't even expect to see anybody fucking else. Don't they have other male characters outside of Ike too?
Yeah,
I
where's
mean,
Roy?
I'm saying
Like Roy?
like that's why I was saying, like, at this point it's not even about Ike anymore.
It ain't even about Ike anymore. It's just, is there other characters than these waifu bitches? Yes, salty as fucking hell.
I'm so salty.
I'm so salty. I ain't even gonna pretend like I'm not. This shit is trash. I'm not picking it up. Fuck it.
Like, I was one of those kind of people that was like, oh man, like there's so
can't
much they
fuck it
can do with Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Like there's so many characters from all of the games.
Yup.
It's gonna be the best. Like,
But what are the games they're mostly centering around? The fucking
Shadow Dragon, which is the first one.
Okay.
And then the Fire Emblem Awakening, and then Fire Emblem Fates.
and then they made some twin bitches because their kingdom's fucked up and we gotta help their kingdom. Fuck your kingdom. I got a kingdom I gotta protect too. What? It should have been Fire Emblem Warriors. I would have thought they would have had like all the different kingdoms fighting, each other, kind of like a Warriors game is. It's always you fighting for your kingdom to protect your people, and you have all these different Fire Emblem characters fighting for their, their friends, their kingdoms, their princess and princes and kings and queens and whatever the fuck else, knights and all that shit. Make all these motherfuckers, put them all in the game, and have them fighting each other. Simple, point blank, period.
It's crazy, bro.
Put a story together around the fact that there's a big kind of, I don't know, civil war or some shit. Some kind of civil wars going on. You pick whatever faction you want to be a part of. You pick a character in that faction, and you protect that fucking faction. Simple.
How hard was that?
How hard was that? No, we're gonna make this all about the waifus. This bitch in a freaking wedding dress. Who wears a wedding dress like that? Because that shit is atrocious.
They made a whole new waifu dress class.
Dress for that. Class.
To mask her being a fucking weeb waifu shit. Like, are you kidding me? Like, get out of here.
It's a class.
It's a class, yes.
Yeah, it's its own
That's
class.
What bitch is on the battlefield in a wedding dress? Explain this to me.
These fucking Fire Emblem waifu hoes.
Outside of the Princess Bride, who's the only one I know about, who else is out here in wedding dresses? Fighting battles.
Like, I don't think people would have cared nearly as much if this DLC had focused on other games and different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody would have cared.
Nobody would have cared. The problem is that the DLC is essentially from the same games that are already in the base game. So you buy the game and you buy the DLC and you're getting the same characters.
Yeah.
It just boggles my mind because the Warriors type of games is essentially perfect for Fire Emblem characters because they essentially have the same type of story. You literally could take your Warrior game story, and put it with the Fire Emblem characters and you're done. You didn't even have to do nothing. It was done for you. Take the Warriors people, take your Fire Emblem characters, smash it together, you're done. Make some random ass Civil War type story, you're done. And put all the characters you can
in the game, or every single one of the characters in the game. Fuck it, whatever. And then send them on their way.
Like, it was done for you.
Yeah, it was done for you, and just give them each like a little kind of side story when you pick them. So you pick a Ike, or you pick a Roy, or you pick a, Lucina, whoever. You pick any character, and they kind of have a little sidebar story as to, what's going on in the Civil War itself. But overall, they all essentially share the same story. It's a civil war. You're protecting your country, your kingdom, your whatever, your faction. The end. And don't make these two little twins, because nobody gives a fuck about them.
I'm saying. That's so.
You didn't even have to make.
So
they didn't have to
simple.
make new characters. They did not have to do it.
That's the thing I don't understand, because like when you look at Hyrule Warriors, even the base game before any of that DLC came out, it had representation from so many Zelda games.
Yep.
Exactly.
And this one, for whatever reason, they're focused on 3 games, which is okay, fine.
That's
you want
fine,
to do that
cool.
with the base game, but then the DLC.
But they don't
packs
even have
insane.
like the. But here's the thing. Like, not only, like, okay, like, if you're gonna focus on the 3, okay, cool, because Fire Emblems generally do have a lot of characters in one game. But it's like, even with the way that they did it, almost everybody is a sword user. Like, there's not that many magic people, there's not that many lance people, there's not that many I haven't seen
archers.
An axe person, you know what I'm saying?
Is there an
Like,
archer in the game? There's one archer in the game.
Who's the archer? Who's archer?
There's one archer, I think it's that weird light-skinned haired whatever the fuck dude. I don't know. It's a guy, long hair, I think. And I just seen him once in the game. He had like a freaking bow and arrow, I think, or maybe I'm seeing something else. I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll find it. But I'm just like, that boggles my mind, because even I can't remember if I saw Archer or not. So that lets you know right there, you don't have a lot of a certain class, but you got a bride class. You sure got that. You ain't got no archer class. You ain't got no lance class. You ain't got no magic class, but you definitely got a fucking bride class. Who asked for that shit?
It's crazy, right?
Some heifer in a bride's dress in the middle of war. I would fucking kill her.
Anything for the weebs, I guess. So I guess you guys are ready. Day 1, you're gonna get this game, right?
I thought it was gonna be a day 1 until
I was on board
like,
for it.
because like I was like, okay, they're not announcing anybody right now, but maybe the DLC is gonna change it, and we'll get more diverse like
I doubt
classes and stuff. And then they showed that stupid bride picture, and I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm done.
I was done before they even showed before they even talked about the DLC. I was just like, it was about the Ike thing at first, and I was just like, they're never gonna put Ike in it, obviously, so I'm over it. But then they showed this, and I was just like, oh, I know I'm over it now. Like that was the icing on the cake. I was like, yeah, okay, we're good.
Like I'm done.
We are totally
I'm just glad that Nintendo fans are actually like going at Nintendo about
not
this.
on
Like,
board.
they're not fucking having it.
They're not.
So mad.
They are so mad
They're
right
so
now.
mad.
They're like,
it's
excuse me?
it's only these goddamn weebs out here.
Yeah,
that
these
are
weebs
happy.
are like super loud right now, so Nintendo's listening to them, and it's like, we need to find them, and we need to gag them and throw them in the closet and tell them to shut the hell up with the fucking weeboo freaking, pillowcase with some waifu bitch on it, and tell them to shut the fuck up. Just fuck this fucking pillow for a few minutes and shut up, so Nintendo can make a real game.
I know that.
Hopefully they balance the game out later.
I hope they
as
fix
it
it.
is
I
right
really
now,
do.
it's not great.
It's not good.
I
I'm
know
gonna
that, like,
overlook it for now.
Me and Alex are like going in on Nintendo's Twitter. We got so many likes from
That's good.
people. Like people are really.
I didn't see
feeling
the tweet y'all made. I gotta find it, but yeah.
We were just going in like, man, this game is just a waifu trash.
It's that's
And
what
everybody
it is,
was
though.
like,
It's like just
yeah.
fucking weeb bait.
Everybody was
Like,
all
all we're missing is them being in swimsuits and running toward the ocean. Baywatch, the Weeboo edition,
And Nell
featuring
asked,
Fire Emblem characters.
Nell asked us. He said, "Have you guys seen Fire Emblem Heroes?" That's what
That's what we're talking about.
That's what
we talked about that earlier. I mean, like the heroes. He said heroes, not warriors. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and we were
Yeah, the
talking
heroes.
about that earlier today when we were off stream.
Like, Heroes
Like,
has more
Heroes is
diversity.
doing
way
it
than
so bad, like so
they're
much
doing
better.
it better. They're doing it
It's
better.
crazy.
And it's just a simple story. It's you as the magic user or whatever, summon a bunch of Fire Emblem characters to your realm to protect your kingdom or whatever. So you They come here, you summon them, you fighting these other motherfuckers to get them the hell out of there, so y'all can go back home. Done.
Exactly.
Simple. It's simple as fucking hell. And
Simple.
everybody from all across the different, franchises, whatever, and all different classes are in there. It's not just Weeble wife. You got your archers, you got your magic users, your lancers, all that stuff. And then there's and then the fighting system is great.
Just compare this to Hyrule Warriors, it's a downgrade.
It is.
It's a big downgrade because you ain't got all the characters. You ain't got all the different classes first. It's not even about the characters. Classes. You don't have any classes.
This is probably what they wanted to do with Hyrule Warriors too, but Anuma probably said no.
And I'm glad for it. Somebody was watching that shit. Whoever's in charge of Fire Emblem Warriors, please stop. Please stop.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not impressed, but whatever. Like, that game's gonna bomb anyways. It comes out a week before Mario Odyssey.
Oh yeah, so I'm starting the Eat the Cake initiative. It's not about bringing Ike in the game, but I think if we can start with Ike, I think the game will get better. So Eat the Cake initiative is on the way. # Eat the Cake.
Eat the cake, anime.
Eat the cake.
Yeah. Well,
for those of you guys who are
trash.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, Nintendo, terrible. This is catering to the lowest denominator. This is terrible.
I mean, absolutely I guess you gotta cater to the weebs, but hey, no.
I don't mind if they cater to them a little bit,
but not with this.
That's in the game.
They could have
you can have the shit in the game, just not overwhelmingly.
Overwhelmingly, yeah. Like it could have been an undertone that would have been easy for most of us to be like, oh, we see that, but it's not in your face. Like at this point, it's just in your
even
face.
Hyrule Warriors had freaking
they had waifu shit.
Nobody cared.
Sia was waifu, like her breast hanging out all in your face. Like who fights in an outfit like that? But nobody cares. It's cool. You got Princess Zelda. She was all hussied up and everything, but she was still a fighter. She had a class of her own. So it's I don't know.
But we're gonna move on from this game.
Let's move on.
And we're gonna talk about the main topic here, which is we've all had the Switch for about 6 months or so, and I was curious how much of a factor portability is to you now when it comes to selecting games. Like, what kind of games do you actually play on your Switch portably? Like, and this I was listening to Terminator's podcast today. And they were talking about this. I was like, oh, that's actually quite interesting. So we're going to borrow the same idea. So shout outs to Terminator. So I was actually curious, like, how much do you guys use your Switch portably versus docked? Because I remember when the Switch was announced, we had all said pretty much, like, our Switch will never leave the dock.
Yes.
We all said that. And we're 6 months in. I want to see if that's changed for anybody.
Ooh. Okay, well... For me, it actually hasn't left the dock that much. In the beginning, I was on the go, constantly moving around. I actually took it to work with me a lot just to kind of show people, since the work I had at the time. So I always had it with me, always on the go. Now I'm not moving around so much, but that's okay. So it stays in its dock for the most part. But like when I know I'm going on a long trip, which I've had a couple of, cross-country trips and stuff here and there, I always take it with me. Whenever I know I'm going to be out for a long time and I don't know what's going to happen with my day, I have it in my purse. I just snatch it up on out of the dock, put it in my purse, and, have it ready. And every once in a while, I do play it on the go, but it has been mostly a home console for me, so I have to throw that out there. But I always purchase games with the idea of having the ability to take it on the go. So when my purchases are always secondary to on the go. It's always primary console for me because I'm a console gamer at heart. But with the option of having on the go, I always make sure that the game also caters to the on the go, because I know me. When I decide to be out for a long time, that Switch is coming with me regardless if I play it or not. It's just it's kind of like a contingency plan. If some shit's going down and I'm bored as fucking shit and somebody's talking my ear off, fuck, I gotta go and get this thing. So there's that. So yeah, it's mostly console for me, and then on the go is the secondary kind of aspect of it. But I definitely always have the thought of, when I purchase my games, does it have a portability kind of capability for me? Like is it going to benefit me portable too, on the go?
Kuuppon, the way that you said that was so perfect, like a contingency plan.
Pretty
That's
much
perfect for my situation too, because I remember, we did have that conversation when the Switch came out, and we were all like, "Oh no, there's no reason for me to take it with me." Blah blah blah.
Right.
But to those of you guys who follow my channel or know me, follow me on Twitter or whatever, y'all know that I work on weekend. I have a overnight job on a weekend, and I work the graveyard shift and stuff like that. So I take it with me to work. I already kind of knew, that was probably going to be the case for me anyway, just considering how many hours I work over the weekend. But I didn't really realize just how much it would impact my purchases, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, there were some games that I knew for sure I was gonna buy. Like, I knew for a fact I was gonna buy Zelda. I knew for a fact I was gonna buy Splatoon. I knew for a fact I was gonna get Mario Odyssey. But there are certain games that I'll buy on the Switch that I probably would have never, ever played on a console. But because I can take it with me, I'm like, you know what? This game might not be like the most, like the most like standout looking game ever, but it looks like a really good time waster that I could play at work in between like phone calls and stuff like that. So like this Golf Story game, like that's probably a game that I would have never bought otherwise, other for the fact that I could take it to work with me and just kind of like fool around with it while I'm at like my night job.
And then the fact that it's kind of uniquely a golf RPG.
But yeah, it is a unique idea and concept. But like just the fact that,
but you could take it on the go. So it's always a factor of can I take the game that I'm about to purchase on the go? Is it going to benefit me on the go as well? And like I said, I hardly ever take my Switch off the dock, but like I still always have in the forefront of my mind, can I play these games on the go? Do they work on the go still?
Like you said, like a contingency plan. Like if you got stuck at like the freaking, I don't know, DMV or something, you're trying to renew your license.
And and I had that happen actually, and I was sitting there playing my Switch hardcore, like, oh, I'm glad I brought it with me. It was one time I actually got caught up in traffic and I forgot to snag my Switch, and I was so mad. I was so mad. I'm just sitting here in traffic, was not moving. They had an accident in front of me, and I'm mad. I was like, fuck. So from then on, definitely bring a Switch.
That was your thing.
So bad.
So yeah, I mean, I guess my answer has kind of changed in a way, but more so on the purchasing side. I guess that's my answer.
Okay. Kuuppon, you're saying same thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, for me, it's well. Can you guys give like maybe a percentage of how much you think you use the Switch docked versus undocked?
I would say I use my Switch docked maybe like 80% of the time. 20% of the time I'm playing it at work. Yeah. Sometimes I will forget to take it to work.
Because same with me. Because sometimes I'll just like walk out the door real quick, not really expecting to be gone long, and I don't take the Switch with me, and that usually ends up being that contingency plan I needed. So but I'm it's more so at home docked. It's a good 80% docked, and then the rest of the time maybe on the go. But yeah, I always think on the go with my purchases though still. So
yeah, me too. Like it's like I have like two brains or something when I'm purchasing games. It's like, okay, what game is going to be good for me to play on the go? Right. Which game is going to be good for me to have an experience where I'm just chilling in my house? Like my monitor.
Yeah.
For me, I still mainly play it docked. Like I do play it portable once in a while. I would say like maybe 90% docked, 10% undocked. Like I was getting my car fixed to sit there for like 2-3 hours. I was just playing Mario Kart, like stuff like that's really cool.
Yeah.
But like, I still don't prioritize the portability for when I'm selecting games, just because I don't usually play portably. Because the way I look at it is, if I'm out and about, I don't need 60 games to choose from.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I only need a select few games, maybe Mario Kart, obviously Mario Odyssey would be good on the go. Some smaller indie games like Sonic Mania it's great on the go. But like stuff like Wolfenstein, for example, I would rather be at home playing with better graphics and better frame rate. Like, but that's just me. I feel like a lot of games, I think, work better portably. Like I bought Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, right? Because I thought like maybe I would enjoy this portably, and I was playing with it outside, and I don't like the buttons are too small for that kind of fast-paced game, so it doesn't work. So I was playing it at home the same day, and I was like, okay, this feels a lot better with the Pro Controller. Because it's like, there's just some games that, to me anyways, because I got kind of large hands, so like there's some games like if you have to press a lot of buttons at once really quickly, like they just don't work for me. But something like Mario Kart, there's not that much buttons to press, so it actually works really well. But like, that's just is what it is. When I look at games on the Switch, I'm like, yeah, I could take it around with me, but would this game make sense on the go? Is it worth the sacrifices? Because like Doom, we brought up Doom earlier, half the frame rate, lower resolution, and that's a fast-paced game. I'd rather play it on the computer. I think it'd still be cool on the go for like pick up and play, but like that wouldn't be priority for me.
Yeah.
But something like Grand Theft Auto, like you don't really have to press too many buttons, and it works really well for pick up and play. So I think that game would be awesome on the Switch.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. It's just like I look at it differently now, because before I used to think like every game that would come to the Switch and the console, I would just get the Switch version because you have more ways to play it. But like even if you have more options, it doesn't mean it's a good option.
Right.
Yeah, true. It depends on the game.
It really does. Like I find indie games are great on the Switch.
They're definitely great.
Because indie
like,
games are generally like they're pick up and play by nature, and a lot of them don't have complicated button layouts, so like it works really well for the Switch. So like, I generally go for Switch for my indie games now.
I just find it's just weird for me because the fact that I don't play it on the go as often as I thought I would, and even though that I still in my purchasing that I still think always secondly, can I play it on the go? Even so, it's like it's the weirdest thing to me because I'm still at home and I'm always playing it docked and. And
do you guys use it handheld mode at home? Because I never do.
No, never.
No, I usually do tabletop.
Actually, I've done it a couple of times, but that's only because, like, when I'm watching the baby or whatever and I'm downstairs, I'll pick it up and let her watch her little TV show, and I'll just, fiddle around with a quick game. But, like, for the most part, no, not really. It's not a big. I leave it upstairs and just watch a show or hang out downstairs on my phone or something. So, but like it's mostly out of the dock when I'm outside and I'm on the go doing errands and things of that nature. I know I'm going to be gone for a long period of time, or if I'm taking a long road trip. But like if I know I'm going around the corner to pick up something from the store and I'm not going to be gone long, I don't even take it off the dock. It's no point because I know I'm going around the corner, getting what I gotta get, come home. What's the point of me taking it with me?
I still take mine around with me, even if I'm like going to the mall or something. I just throw it in my trunk just in case. But like I don't find myself playing it too often. Like I'll play it in the movie theater while I'm waiting for the movie to start.
Yeah, me too.
And little small stuff like that, but I'm never playing for more than like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah,
so like it needs to be like 30. A pick up and play game because I don't have situations where I'm sitting around for hours on end.
For hours and hours. Yeah, like how they show on the commercials. I'm not out at no park somewhere just playing.
I did play it like at the airport. I did live the commercial.
Well, I mean that works. But that works for the airport. Like at the airport, obviously I would have it with me.
Switch at the airport is dope. That shit is awesome.
That's essentially what you want to have. But like I'm talking about like going to the park or going to a friend's house. I'll take it with me, and if I go to a friend's house, if I'm tired of hearing what's going on, like if it's like a thing going on and I'm just like I want to zone people out, then I'll pull it out and play and stuff. But as far as like LAN parties and stuff like that, and going to the park to walk your dog or something, that's not the lifestyle I live. It's if I'm at the airport, it's with me and I'll play my game until we get on the we get on the plane and take off or whatever. I'm probably asleep half the time because I can't stand planes. So. But it goes on the go with me. It's not like it's always home, but when I'm home, there's really no reason for it to be off the dock, in my opinion. Because if I'm not playing my Switch, then I'm playing my PlayStation, or maybe I'm playing a PC game. This broken ass laptop. That won't be too long. But it's not all the time, and I think it would be that way with a few other people. And then you have people who have a lifestyle; they're constantly on the go. So I would assume they would have games that are like real quick to pick up, and play games that don't really require a lot of brain power and thinking and stuff like that. So, and yes, I'm getting voice soon. Now that they somebody asked if I was getting voice, and
What is that?
yeah, I'm getting it. It's
Well,
a rhythm game. That rhythm game that was touchscreen only, and
Oh.
they finally fixed it. So no, it's no longer touchscreen. You can actually play with a controller now. So yeah, I will
it's like-
now I'll get it because I wasn't gonna get it until then.
Since I got the Pro Controller, like those Joy-Cons and the Joy-Con grip.
I don't touch the Joy-Cons.
No, they are nothing compared to this Pro Controller.
I
This
don't
thing is
use them for a
awesome.
damn. The only time the Joy-Cons are useful to me is literally when I have to take that thing out of the dock.
Yeah.
And that's almost seldom because sometimes I try to sit that thing up on the freaking little kickstand and still use my damn Pro Controller. Even so, like, fuck this shit. It just doesn't feel right. I'm sorry. And I got small hands. You think having those things would work, but they just can't. I tried to play some Zelda with that thing. Tried to play all kinds of games with those Joy-Cons. Dock to the system. Dock to the little puppy thingy, or just motion control Joy-Con. I couldn't do it. I was just like Pro Controller.
sometimes it just depends on the game for me.
It really depends on the game, but like I can't for most of these games. I just don't even half the time. I just don't give it a chance. I'm just like, fuck it, Pro Controller straight away.
Well, if you already have a Pro Controller, why would you even bother trying the other controls?
Yeah.
It's so
But
much
I
better.
sometimes I just want to see if I'm missing some kind of experience because I like
Oh, I
to.
see.
I'm just the type of
with
person
the split Joy-Cons, you mean?
Sometimes
Yeah,
I'll
I
just
was
check it.
thinking-
I just try it out just because I don't want to be that type of person to be like just doesn't try something. Sometimes I'll try it just to see if it has the option of using the Joy-Cons in each hand or both or however they got it. I try all the different controls sometimes with certain games just to see if there's anything I'm missing as far as experience wise. Once I find out I'm literally missing nothing, then I go back to the Pro Controller because then I can say, oh, you're not missing anything because the freaking motion controls are trash.
Yeah,
Splatoon is the only time motion controls are a good thing. For the most part.
Yeah, what were you saying, yeah?
I only I can only use like the separated controllers for certain games. Like I tried using the separated controllers like I used to do with the Wiimote and Nunchuck, but to be honest, the Joy-Cons, I mean I understand that the tech is newer inside of the Joy-Cons.
Right.
But just the aiming is just not as good as the Wiimote. I guess because there's no sensor.
Yeah, they don't have the sensor this time.
But I mean I know they have like the gyro accelerator or whatever you call it, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't feel it. It
I don't know,
doesn't
just
feel as good
something's
to
off.
me. I don't know. Maybe
I
that's
don't
just
know.
me.
It's like the slightest flick of the wrist. Don't start. It's just the slightest movement just kind of throws you off balance, and then you're like, I don't know.
I don't really
It's like
know
even
what
when
it
I
is.
played Splatoon, like I played Splatoon a couple days ago, and I was just like, it felt weird.
With the
I had to get used to
Joy-Cons.
with the Joy-Cons. It just felt weird, so I played it with the Pro Controller, obviously, and it was a little bit better, but you could still tell without the sensor that the motion control is a bit wonky, just a
I don't
tad.
think the motion is off on the game. I just think it's the Joy-Cons. I don't feel like they have the one-to-one.
It's not just the Joy-Cons. Motion control with the Pro Controller is also just as wonky
Yeah,
because you
they
don't have that
the
sensor. It's without that sensor. It's missing that little bit of information it needs to kind of be more
It's
accurate.
Not quite as accurate, yeah.
It's
but
not quite as
that's why
accurate.
they
It's not
don't
horrible
focus
by
as
any
much
means.
they don't focus
Yeah.
as much on motion gaming anyways.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's not horrible by any means, but it definitely is missing that little spark. And that's one thing I can give the Wii, credit for is the motion control in that aspect was really, really good.
Yeah, there's something that's just really off about the motion.
But it's whatever. I don't use motion controls too often, so it's not really something I'm missing.
Yeah,
And
really,
when I,
it's the only game that I use motion in.
it's mostly Splatoon, yeah.
Do you guys feel that the trade-off is worth it though? Like we're seeing games drop down to 30 FPS with NBA and Doom, and with lower graphics. So you think that trade-off is worth it to get that version versus like the PC or PS4?
No.
I'm gonna say for Nintendo it is. Because
Like
I
for
feel
motion
like,
controls over the drop off of like frame rate or something.
No, like for example,
like the portability.
yeah, the portability factor.
Portability,
Like,
okay.
is the portability factor enough for you to buy a multi-plat on Nintendo when it has cutbacks like that?
I feel like it is, but I'll let Kuuppon go first.
I mean it to a certain extent. Like if they're my thing is, it seems like some of these companies are capable of giving us the full experience, but they tend to kind of like cut down on the experience because of the not motion control, but because of the portability. And I don't think that's fair to the people who don't take it on the go too often. I think they should strive to give us the full experience, both portable and home. And if they tried everything they can and they realize they have to cut something for the other, then I guess I can understand you want to go for the portability because that's what's kind of driving sales at this time, and I could get it. But like, you got FIFA that, it's just, I don't know, it's just, I don't think they should cut anything for anything. If they can do it, just do it. But if they've tried and they've actually really went through the motions to try and figure out what they can do, and they find that, hey, we got to cut this in order to make this run better, then okay, I guess I get it. But I don't know. For me, I want a full game. I want everything to work the way it's intended on both, portability and console.
Well, I'll give you an example. So, what is a multi-plat game coming out that you're interested in?
Right, it's coming out soon.
Or whatever. Let's say sometime next year.
Just say something.
I don't know what game you're interested in.
I don't care. Just say a game.
Okay.
Like, because right now,
say...
there's nothing I'm interested in right now. Like, I mean, it's not a multi-plat though. That one isn't. I'm saying Mario. I'm like, that's not multi-plat.
Mario's only on the Switch.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it's not multi-plat. Like, I'm not interested in any multi-plats right now.
Okay, well, whatever.
I guess,
let's say one of your dancing
let's say
games.
let's say freaking Monster Hunter then. Go with that.
Sure.
There.
Let's say Monster Hunter is coming to the Switch. They just announced it tomorrow. Okay, Monster Hunter World's coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
But instead of, and we're gonna put a scenario where it's actually 60 FPS on the console, even though it's not. Okay, we're just gonna pretend it is. Okay. So the console version is 1080p, 60 FPS, and then the Switch version is gonna be 720p, and it's gonna be 30 FPS. Is that drop enough for you to say I'm not getting the Switch version?
Yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah. 'Cause I mean, I wouldn't play that game on the go, and that's what I have to look at it as. It's like, okay, it's a game that I know I probably wouldn't play on the go, so I'm gonna get it on the PlayStation then, or PC, or wherever else I can get it that doesn't require, mobility. But if it's a game I know that I would enjoy also on the go, then I would sacrifice, those specs for the on-the-go portion of it. That's how I would look at it.
Okay, Nia, so you're also buying... Oh, you're interested in Monster Hunter anyway, so this works. What about you?
Would I be willing to buy? You're saying basically a lesser version for portability? Do I feel like the trade-off is worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it is worth it. Not really just for my sake, but for Nintendo's sake. And we've pretty much said it like so many times on Team Red that as far as Nintendo is concerned, like if they were to come out with like just a straight up beastly console that was basically like the Xbox or the PlayStation, nobody would take it seriously.
Right.
So Nintendo went with the business model that works for them, and that is the handheld thing. And that is their thing. That is their niche. Nobody can take that away from them. They've been the market leader for handheld gaming since 1989. So, and the sales currently prove that people don't care. Because, to be honest, people are doing that anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like yes, the Nintendo Switch is a weak device, considering that it's being, held up against the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One.
That's obvious.
And people are gonna be like, oh well, it's the weaker option. It's the weaker option. Like, yeah, it is because it's a portable. But at the same time, it's like console gamers do this every day. Like console gamers don't look at freaking games like Monster Hunter or all of these other 30 FPS games are like, well, I guess I'll just get it on PC. Like nobody ever does that for PlayStation and Microsoft. And Nintendo is proving right now with how well that they're doing. People don't care on Nintendo Switch either. So I think that as far as the business model for the Nintendo Switch as a whole, this is the smartest thing that Nintendo could have done for themselves. And the gamers have proven that they don't care.
Yeah.
Freaking NBA 2K is #1 game on the eShop right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody cares. Like literally nobody cares except for I guess people who know better, like me,
Or
you, and
people who
Alex.
don't play games at all anyway, or
Like
just more.
people see, oh well, here's a game that I want. I could take it where I want, or I can
Right.
play it at home. That's amazing. I'm getting
Right.
this version.
Yeah.
And like I did a poll right after Nintendo had actually announced what the Nintendo Switch was going to be, and I polled my users on my Twitter and my Facebook, and I said, how many of you guys would be willing to either get the Nintendo Switch version of a AAA multi-plat game, or at least double dip, for the sake of portability? And I had almost like 60% of my users saying yes, they would. So there's a large majority of people out there who do see the value, and even if they don't take it with them outside of the house, just being able to play it in their bed, you know what I'm saying, is good enough for them. And Nintendo's proving it. And anybody who looks at the Switch and says, oh, it's a lesser version, I'm not going to care, but you still play only on consoles, you're a liar. And that's all I got to say about that. And like I said, me, you, Alex, all of us, we're in the process of either having a PC or building a PC. So we understand that if we want anything to play to the best of its abilities, we're likely probably going to get the PC version.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people out there that we don't necessarily speak for that only like to play on consoles. The only thing that matters to them is whether or not they can hook it up, plug it in, and play it on their TV or whatever. Like, they don't care. And the sales prove it. Like, I hate this conversation because, like, yes, like the Nintendo Switch versions of games look worse. And in some cases, they will run worse than the PlayStation and the Xbox One counterparts. But you could also say the same thing about PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games in regards to PC. Like, people are going to play where they feel more comfortable. And if some people feel more comfortable having a version of the game that they could also take portably, that's where they're going to get it. And that's really the bottom line. So that's just kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like people always want to put Nintendo in this little bubble, even when they've proven themselves that people don't care. Like, that's
it's a very vocal minority that generally makes it seem like a lot of people care one way or another, when it's like, you guys are just the vocal few that say that things like this matter when it doesn't. And like I said,
they
like
don't.
Like with the whole scenario behind the Monster Hunter thing, sure, I want it to play better, so I would get it on the PS4. But to be honest, I heard it's coming to PC, so I'm getting it on there anyway. So what's the point? Like, it's coming to PC, and I know the PC is going to be the superior version of any fucking game on any fucking market. And if I want the best experience, get it on that platform. But if I'm not worried about that and I want to play on the go, then where am I gonna get it to play on the go?
Exactly.
Obviously, Nintendo.
And you don't hear nobody say, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna get Destiny 2 on PC."
On PC, they're over here talking about, I'm gonna get it on this, that. Okay, well, get it wherever you want to play, but don't make it sound like it's some epiphany you just came to. Like,
speaking of Destiny, what's very funny is the same people who have a problem with Doom on Switch being 30 tend to be the ones that were defending Destiny 2 being 30.
To be fair, I will say this though, to their defense, I will say this. At least Doom is not. I mean, Destiny is not a Twitch shooter. Doom is, so it kind of does. It kind of does have a little bit of weight to it, but I feel where you're coming from, though. These same people have been playing 30 frames per second games for this whole generation, but now all of a sudden it's a problem.
Right. I don't know. Personally, I think Destiny being 30 FPS is kind of disgusting, which is the same feeling I have for Doom. But I just think it's funny. That's all. Like, they'll willingly play 30 FPS Destiny on a more powerful console. Like, let's not forget that.
Yeah.
It's a more powerful device. Even the Pro and the Xbox One Scorpio, or what the fuck is it called? The Xbox One X. Even that one's 30 FPS. Like, but like, then you have a problem with the Switch being 30 FPS. I have a problem with both being 30 FPS. So, like,
all of a sudden 30 frames per second is a problem, but you've been playing 30 FPS all gen. The only people who've been playing in 60 frames per second for the most part for the most of the generation on Wii U and on Switch is Nintendo people. If we want to keep it 100% funky, okay, Nintendo people are the only ones playing constant 60 frames per second games right now, aside from PC.
Right.
So I'm gonna need y'all to
calm
chill.
down. And it's the funny how the goalposts went to the frames per second suddenly. It was all about 4K resolution, all this stuff, pretty games, blah blah blah. Now it's the whole FPS thing, and it's like, but we've been there already. Nintendo fans have always had 60 frames per second. From time to time, you'll get those 30 frames and stuff, but it's certain games it works fine. With certain, and the graphical fidelity in some of the Nintendo games don't require you really needing 60 frames, considering. But it's like, I don't know. It's just that's the new goalpost. It's like it's 30. It's like, but we always had 60. If you're a PC gamer and you're used to 60, you would definitely get a Switch because you're gonna get mostly all your games 60. A few sprinkled 30s here and there, but you're gonna have that nice smooth 60 for the most part because that's just the way Nintendo is. So GTFO.
I just think it's funny. It's like y'all have been playing 30 frames per second games this whole gen, and you can say what you like.
Issue.
Yeah, like you can say whatever you want. Like Kuuppon said, Nintendo games don't usually require like hardcore graphics, but at least we're playing good performance games. Like you can't really say that.
Yeah, like you guys got these day one patches all damn day because as soon as you get on the game, what's going on? Frame rate's fucked up.
Yeah, like y'all don't care. Y'all just like to pick at things y'all don't care about.
They just need to move the goalposts from time to time. Whenever Nintendo's doing good, we gotta move this goalpost. Now it's frames per second. It's like, dude, we don't even have to argue on that one because we already been there. So shut up.
And that's coming from somebody who does prefer 60 frames per second. I'm not out here defending Doom.
Right.
A game like Doom should be 60 frames per second. I'm just calling out the people who
are suddenly
all of a sudden.
The sudden surprise about it, like.
You really don't.
Yeah, the reason I have an issue with Doom being 30 is because I've already experienced it at 60. So to play it at half the frame rate to me just it doesn't sound right.
And that makes sense. I'm like I said, there's no excuse for a game like Doom to be 60. But like there's people out there who will forget about the fact that, the Nintendo Switch is a portable. Like it's not as weak as a lot of people thought, but at the same time,
it's still a portable. So
the fact that it can run it in general, I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and that's where the whole sacrifice comes in. It's like, can they make it run 60? And if they can, what did you have to sacrifice to bring it back down to 30 in order for it to run? Did you make a sacrifice thinking, hey, we can make it run 60, but this is gonna suffer, so we have to go down to 30. In order for this to, run well or whatever. So that's how I look at it. It's like, I wonder what are the sacrifices? Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It's like, what you made the sacrifice. This is 30 frames per second. Okay, cool, got it. 720, 30 frames. Did you look at the full picture? Did you get it? Do you know you can get it at 1080, 60? And if you could, what was the sacrifice? If you could do it, what would be the sacrifice? Is it the portability? We can't do portability mode if we do it like this for dock mode, or did you have to cut this to make it look good on both portability and dock mode? That's kind of my thing about it. Is like, what are they sacrificing to make it the way it is?
I mean, obviously they sacrificed everything. I mean, it's 720p.
I'm just saying, in any game in general, like when any game comes out that has you would expect to be 1080 60, and it's suddenly this, and you're just like, well, what did you have to sacrifice in order for it to be this way? Right. And did you like, what's being sacrificed, and is it something that I would like, okay, I can understand you had to sacrifice this to make it this, cool, whatever. But that's the stuff that I would wish we could know about. What was the sacrifice needed? But it's whatever. It's not that big a deal.
To be honest,
it's not really.
Do you guys feel that in the future, like let's say a year down the road, we're gonna see games on the Switch under 720p?
We better not.
I mean, we already have games that do that. Freaking Splatoon has dynamic resolution, but sometimes it goes out of like 600 something p.
Does it?
Yes. It has dynamic resolution. It goes up from like sometimes like 500 or 600 something p to about 720p. Just to maintain 60 frames.
Did
I
not.
would rather them do dynamic resolution if they're gonna do it like that.
Well,
Because
yeah.
you don't even notice it with Splatoon.
Yeah.
And see, you didn't even know that.
Didn't even know. Did not know.
I thought it was 1080p on the Switch.
Nope. Not all the time, anyway.
Oh, that's cool. They did something that works.
I feel like dynamic resolution is really the best way to go about these things.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Okay. I think that's all, unless you guys want to do some questions.
I saw a couple of questions. I saw one question from Keith I thought was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And while we're answering this question, the rest of you people ask more questions then.
I already told them to ask questions, so they got quite a few here, surprisingly.
Good, good.
Go ahead.
This is from Keith Norris. He says, going forward, should campaign and multiplayer be split on the Switch, or should they strive to put it all on one cartridge?
I don't mind it being separate because that means they don't have to spend as much on the cartridge, which means we don't have to pay that stupid Switch tax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather buy an SD card than be charged $10 more in every game.
Yeah, because at least you have to get an SD card just one time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I have a question from Phantom1Op. He asked, if Kingdom Hearts 3 came to the Switch, should Nintendo collab with Disney and Square Enix to have a Switch exclusive world with Nintendo characters?
Yes.
They should.
That would sell the mess out of that version.
That would be awesome. If they just kicked out the Disney characters, actually. Just
freak.
yeah, get them the fuck out. Square Enix and Nintendo, just get Disney out of there.
Yeah, like they could obviously throw
But
Mario
they could
characters
obviously,
in there.
yeah. Yep, put the Mario
That'd be
character.
great.
Mario. Yep.
I
Put
just
Nintendo's
hopefully-
characters in there. Be good to
Hopefully they don't put any stupid Fire Emblem waifus, but
Yeah, I
as
know.
long as
Or
they-
if they do it the right way, if they're gonna put Fire Emblem in there, it'd actually be Fire Emblem and not Waifu Warriors, Waifu Emblem.
Yeah, that could work really well. Like
I think it'll
obviously they would start with Mario because he's the franchise, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
true.
Zelda
Gotta
could
have
fit in
Mario on there.
Like you could have Link and Zelda. Maybe Ganon teams up and with whoever the antagonist is in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, with the villains and
That would
whatnot.
be actually pretty dope. That
That'd
would
be
actually
pretty
make me
dope,
want to
yeah.
buy Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mhm.
Would they put that much effort into one version of the game? I don't know.
Probably.
but
Yeah,
probably not.
Nintendo
But
was
like,
trying to publish that joint.
I would
Right?
imagine you would get amiibo costumes.
Nintendo would have
that's
to have some
remaking
kind
the
of
whole
publishing
game,
deal or something with
Yeah,
them for them to do
Nintendo. At that point, they would probably just make a spin-off game, though.
that. Maybe.
Should Mickey Mouse? Oh my God! Yes, if Mickey Mouse should replace Mega Man in Smash. No,
No, definitely not.
no, definitely not.
Mega Man needs a game, so I'm good.
I just need Mega Man to get a game and we'll be fine. But you know,
Okay, so Kingdom Hearts 3. I just hope it's coming to the Switch.
I hope it's coming to the Switch. That's
Yeah.
the number one thing I'm kind of looking forward to. I would like
because
for it
it's
to
on
come.
Unreal Engine 4, so
Yeah,
I
so
see
it
why
should
wouldn't.
be able. I don't see how they can't make it come over. It's just a matter of finishing up the game and porting it over to the Switch and deciding to be like, look, yeah, we're putting it on the Switch. And I mean, we've had we had Kingdom Hearts on the 3DS for a while, so it's like it's not like there's no fans of Kingdom Hearts on Nintendo.
Right.
It's been there. It's just a matter of bringing them over completely by actually bringing the third installment. And I would hope if they do bring the third installment that they have a 1 and 2 installment as well.
Hopefully they do it, because I know they said they're trying to figure out a way to get Final Fantasy 15 to work.
And I think that's their way of trying to get Kingdom Hearts to work as well.
Yeah, and they said
I
they're
mean,
going to
Kingdom
try
Hearts
and work
started
with
off
Unreal.
on. Kingdom Hearts at least started off on Unreal though, but
Yeah.
with Final Fantasy, they're trying
Yeah,
to port
they'd have to
over.
redo the game.
Ah,
They're
gotcha.
trying to port over the freaking thing. the whole
They'd have
thing.
to
It's
port
not
it
on.
over.
It's not on the Unreal.
No,
No,
they're using their
it
own engine.
in-house.
Oh, okay,
But
got
their
it.
in-house engine doesn't play nice with the Switch.
With the Switch, okay, got it. So they're trying to figure out how to get it on Unreal. So
They,
they can
they would have to
port
port it over using Unreal Engine, which they're already using for Kingdom Hearts, so it's not like
Which
they're
is good. Okay, that makes
unfamiliar
sense.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting the Final Fantasy 15 in
Yeah,
there.
so
Okay,
like
makes sense.
that's probably gonna happen. We'll
Okay.
see.
I mean, it's
But
already
the
on Unreal.
specific contents depends. Like maybe they'll do that just because it's gonna take longer to get the Switch version. But I wouldn't bet on it. I would just expect costumes from Amiibo.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anything else?
Assuming Prime 4 and Pokemon don't make 28. Wait, I'm just trying to see if this what. Okay, so I guess Mohammed asked, assuming Prime 4 and Pokemon don't make 2018, what will be the Switch's Mario Zelda level heavy hitters for next year?
Smash
That's a
Brothers.
great question. Smash Brothers? You really think it's gonna be Smash?
Yeah, it's coming.
I think they're gonna announce Smash.
It sure as hell isn't gonna be this year, but 2018
It's
is
not. It can't be
probably
this
Smash
year. They ain't got no
Brothers.
time. And if they
Yeah.
if they try to bring it out this year, it's not. It'll do well still, but I mean, a lot of people are gonna like skip it for other games, for the newer games. But yeah, maybe Smash Brothers.
Well, we know Kirby's coming. We know Yoshi's coming.
But I don't think those are like Mario Zelda level
Those aren't
games.
at
though.
the same level,
Yeah,
obviously.
They're not at the same level.
Neither is
obviously.
Metroid. Get real.
Like-
Pokemon is at that level.
No.
I mean, Metroid is an okay game,
Metroid's
but
not
like,
even
let's be real.
close.
It's a niche crowd of you. I'm sorry, it's a niche crowd of people. It's not gonna do Zelda,
Like,
Mario.
Yoshi
numbers.
and Kirby games sell better than Metroid games. So, like, if you're talking about sales, then those games
Yeah,
are already
they do.
bigger games. But if you're talking about
Oh,
impact
here's the game.
on fans, then I guess
it's totally gonna be.
Oh, there's the Fire Emblem one, too.
Yeah, but it's totally gonna be F-Zero. It's gonna be the smash hit for next year. Get ready.
I would imagine Smash. But we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. I have no clue because I just don't know
it's
what.
not Xenoblade, because Xenoblade's coming this year.
Yeah,
So
Xenoblade's
that's
this
good.
year. So
I don't know. What else would they announce for next year? We got Fire Emblem. I guess that was from what we know that's coming. Fire Emblem, I guess, is the largest one. But I don't know. There's still time for them to announce some other stuff.
yeah.
There's not really any other franchises that Nintendo have, honestly, other than Smash Brothers, that compare to Zelda and Mario.
And yeah, like those two are pretty big powerhouses for the most part.
And
and
they already
then-
brought Mario Kart, so
Yeah, so you can't
That's not
use
option.
Mario Kart. So and Splatoon, I mean, could have been kind of close, but not really. But it's out.
yeah, they'll be bangers.
And Arms
like,
didn't.
there's
I
gonna
don't
be big
think
games,
Arms
but not
did
that
too
big.
great. Did Arms do well?
Arms sold over 1 million.
It's
Is it?
all
Okay. Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
for a new IP, that's pretty damn good. But that game is like pretty dead now.
Yeah.
There's people still playing it, but like those are the people that are
Like,
playing it on the
really
more
fell
like
off, though.
competitive level. The people who play
Yeah.
it casually are just like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, I didn't know this
That's
demo
and that
so
was
big.
that was like probably fears I had about the game. If I was to get it, that people would drop off on it.
Yeah, and Pokémon's out now. I don't know if that one's doing well. We'll see in a couple.
I'm
weeks.
pretty sure the Pokemon, community that like fighters is probably on that still.
Hopefully.
But that's it. I don't see anything. Do you think Breath of the Wild will get more DLC in the future? Well, we're still waiting on the last DLC it's supposed to get. So
I'm saying.
I'm still hoping they push that to 2018.
I'm thinking they're pushing that because they got a lot of stuff coming out.
Because there's
this
too
year,
many
so-
like high-profile games coming out,
Yeah.
and there's no point bringing out this DLC when you want to buy new games.
Oh, besides the one we're getting, I don't see them putting more on there anytime soon. And then again, I mean, who knows? Maybe they will. But for the most part,
I
I
don't see why
think
they wouldn't. That game.
I don't
is,
see why
like,
they.
a
Yeah, it's
huge
perfect
game,
for
but
like
good.
putting some extra story mode stuffs in there for later use. And
There's
something
a
like that
lot
after
of
the-
stuff in the story that never got fleshed out, so they can always
Yeah,
just
so,
make
I mean,
DLC.
That's what they could do. Flesh it out.
Maybe
and
they
have
can give Princess Zelda a wedding dress or something,
Oh no.
and maybe Daruk can get a wedding dress. I don't know, or Barbosa, she can get a wedding dress also.
Nope, Sidon. He totally
Well,
needs a
side
wedding
on too.
dress.
He can get a wedding dress. They can all have wedding dresses.
Yep, it'll be wedding dress. It'll be
Yeah,
wedding
this is
dress.
the wedding dress DLC. $20. You get a
Nope.
wedding dress for every character.
It'll be Wedding of the Wild.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh
Wedding
my
of the
god.
Wild. Wedding of the
Wedding
Wild
of the-
DLC.
All right. I guess what other Nintendo franchises should get the Breath of the Wild treatment?
Turn it into an open world sandbox game.
Mm-hmm. Kid Icarus. I don't know. Give Kid Icarus an open world something. I don't know. There's your multi. Nah, it's not gonna be Kid Icarus. I can't hold a candle.
Nah,
But
Kid Icarus would be. Actually,
I think they should keep Kid Icarus the way it is.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the new,
Yeah,
I like the new thing
it's
they did with
definitely nice.
Uprising.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question, but I don't know.
I don't know how they would do it, but Kirby could be interesting.
They might be
I
able
want
to do Kirby that way.
I want
but-
another 3D Kirby like Crystal Shards. How it was
Yeah,
kind
that
of
game
like
was
it
Yeah,
wasn't
Crystal
quite.
Shards was nice.
It wasn't quite open, but it wasn't as linear as like your traditional.
Yeah, it had a little bit more going for it, but I don't know. Maybe Kirby could get kind of like a kind of a halfway point of a Breath of the Wild treatment, a little bit more open world,
I wanna see that
but
actually.
you know, still fairly linear.
I think I actually want to see it more for like Metroid, make it more like Halo or like.
I would love that, but he said
like-
to give it the Zelda treatment though.
Oh, to make it
Yeah.
like truly open.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think it means.
If they were to make it truly open, I would want them to do it kind of like how like some of those. Well, you know, I play a lot of PC stuff, so maybe console guys wouldn't really care. But stuff like that Osiris New Dawn on PC is like an open world, like sci-fi type of survival type of game.
I got it. Xenoblade Chronicles X2.
Huh.
Breath of the Wild treatment. Done.
It's
I
already
mean,
kind
it's
of like
already
that though.
yeah, it's kind of already that though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Just do more to it. Give it more.
You know what I really want them to
Give
do?
us more customization in it, I guess you could say, with our skills and our characters, and like make it online.
I'll,
where you play with
add to that.
friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll add to that. Not just give it the Breath of the Wild treatment, but make it like an MMO style game. I would
Yep.
be all over that.
That would be all over that. We be on that.
We talk about that a lot. I feel
That's just what I need to happen. I need
It's
y'all
so
to
perfect.
get this idea to Nintendo stat.
Like I would
Like just call it Xenoblade X.
That would bring in so
Online.
much money.
Done. I gave
Xenoblade
you a
X
title.
online.
I gave you a fucking title. Xenoblade X Online. Done.
It would
You
get
can have it for free.
They would get so much money.
Oh,
Yeah, they would.
just make
They
it
would
a
get
thing.
so much money, dude.
Make it a thing.
I really hope they bring.
And I
back
just really love the
Star
skills. That's why I
Fox.
needed to be X, because those skills were fun.
You know, actually, they could do Star Fox. They can make it like Star Fox Adventure, but make it more open world like Zelda. But
Yeah,
then you
that
also
would-
have
okay with
space
that.
combat.
Yeah, there you go. That would
could
work.
be dope.
I would actually prefer more so Assault, where it's like air and ground.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you can
Yeah.
kind of do whatever you want on the ground, but then there's also flying sections as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that-
That could
definitely.
be really
I would
cool.
love that.
But you know,
They
no
could-
Miyamoto though, please, my God.
They would.
Stay away from the project
Please
forever.
stay away from the game, please.
Yeah, just go away.
That would be a good idea. I would buy
That'd
that.
be really cool. F-Zero, like what can I?
They
even
need
do
to turn him into a beat 'em up already.
I mean,
Yeah.
F-Zero, we already had an idea about it. Give us the, abilities to, like, let him walk around, do what he needs to do, like, on land and stuff, and then he goes into his, his racing to make money and all that other stuff, and back to,
But
But I don't
that's
know.
the only thing is like F-Zero is such a specific kind of racing, and then
Yeah.
you try to implement that into a normal open world
It just
game.
won't
It's
work.
so drastically different. I think
Yeah.
half the people playing wouldn't even like it.
Yeah, true.
Because
And that's where I'm
maybe
looking
they would
at.
like the open world sections where you're Captain Falcon running around Falcon punching people, but then you go into the actual racing and like I don't want to play this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Holy shit!
It's
Why is this
like-
old man so strong? Fuck! I'm not
Like-
fighting him.
Like, but why do I gotta race? I don't understand. What's this racing all about? It's like, well, that's the core of Captain Falcon. Well, I don't like it. Captain Falcon needs to be Captain Falcon, punching people or whatever. Falcon punching people. Because that's what most people today know him for, is the Falcon puncher. Just like, but he's a racer. Y'all didn't know that, did you? He is a
It's
racing
true.
game character. Most people didn't know that. Most, not all. Like us old school gamers, we knew about that. But like most people who were introduced to
in
Smash
more-
Brothers
He's in
know
more
him
Smash
as
Brothers
that.
games than he is F-Zero games.
His own games. Like, come on,
What the heck?
that sucks. I'm in more Smash games than my own.
Freaking
games.
Namco Museum just downloaded on my computer.
What the
Oh.
hell?
Uh-oh.
Not my computer, miss.
Spyware.
Oh, how did
Alright.
that shit miss?
I
Well,
guess
I
we're
did
done.
download the demo, so yeah, we are
Oh,
approaching.
this is one more question that
2
kind of
hours.
interesting.
Okay.
So is open world designs ruining games? You guys think open world designs are ruining games?
Some
which-
games
which
don't
one?
need to be open world.
Yeah, it seems like that's like the go-to thing with a lot of games. Is like if and for a lot of like
Like
franchises for
for
the most part.
example, Uncharted Lost Legacy Chapter 4 is this big open world section of the game, but it's open world just for the sake of being open world. You can't actually do anything.
Yeah,
Everything's
and-
like blocked off with invisible walls,
Yeah.
so it's like it's
I would
actually
rather
a giant
you-
waste of time.
I would
Yeah.
rather you just make a linear game than to
Yeah.
add all of these unnecessary.
Uncharted games are more for is more of a linear game to me, and the fact that they tried to make it open world with Uncharted 4 or whatever
that's the
was just
only
kind of like
boring part.
and that's what irritated me. I was just like, what is the point of all this? I'm climbing and climbing, shooting and climbing and shooting and climbing, more climbing and shooting. And it's like, what's the point of all this? Just give me a freaking puzzle to solve real quick so I can get to the next fucking part, because you got this beautiful landscape and all this wonderful stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm not doing anything but shooting people and climbing.
Like some games are just they throw in open world just to make their game bigger
Yeah.
for no
Like-
reason.
like
not,
with
not
Zero-
every game
Zero-
needs it.
Zero Dawn was a good game. I actually got a chance to play a little bit of it, and Zero Dawn is a good game. But the fact that they have a lot of open world space
I
that you
would've
can't do,
preferred it to
you
be
can't,
more
you
linear.
can't. Yeah, like the fact that you can't interact with a lot of the stuff in Zero Dawn kind of pissed me off. And that's also coming off of Zelda, which you can interact with damn near everything.
Yeah.
So it's like my idea of an open world is how they did Zelda. How they did Zelda. Zelda is the perfect open world because you can interact with just about anything and everything in that world, point
Right.
blank, period. What you see, you can go to. What you see, you can climb, you can touch, you can fuck with. It'll fuck with you too if it's a live creature and all that stuff. And that's what I like. That's what open world to me is. Is shit's gonna react to you just as much as you can react to it. Now, if it's some shit in the background and I go over to it and it's just a fucking skybox or it's just a wall blocking you into a space and you can't climb, you can't do nothing, you just looking at this wall that's pretty. No, that's not open world to me. It's stupid. You just make it a linear game and call it a fucking day. I'm okay with a linear game that has a beautiful story, nice, pretty, graphics and stuff. I'm okay with that, but don't try to make it open world just for the sake of it being open and dead.
Right.
Because you can have an open world that's dead. I hate open worlds where I'm walking down I'm in a big ass fucking city, but I can't go into no buildings.
Mhm.
I hate.
Or I can't
that.
punch nobody.
It's annoying.
That's stupid. It's like, well, what are these buildings here for if I can't go into them? Or I go next to a door or something, somebody's talking from inside, but I can't go inside to talk shit to them or something. Like that's stupid to me. Don't make a world that's technically open but dead. I call those dead worlds. Those are dead worlds.
That's not open world.
That's not open. That's a dead world. I'm walking in a place where I can't interact with nothing, and the shit can't interact with me. I mean,
And some
it's just
people have the
linear.
nerve to say that freaking Zelda had a freaking dead world.
That's
Like, are you
crazy
kidding
to
me?
me.
The world is a post-apocalyptic world where shit is technically rebuilding itself from a big-ass fucking war. That's the dead part of the game, period. The rest of the game is very fucking much alive because you go and attack something, it's going to attack you. You go and walk over to this rock, be ready. It might be a motherfucker that comes out of the fucking ground to kill you.
What's so funny?
It might not be it was some very funny ass music, but I think most people were mad about the fact that there wasn't any music when you were traveling to places. They had the ambient music and it was really kind of offsetting for a lot of parts, and I can understand that, but the world itself is very much open. Anything and everything you react, or it will react to you in some way or fashion. There's no real linear thing about the game. You can go and explore everything. The only time I ever came across something that I couldn't interact with was when I got to the end of the map and there's a big ass canal that you can go across. You'll float over to the other side and die because there's nothing there. You've reached the end of the map.
Right.
But other than that, everything in the map, within the boundary of the map, you're fine. You can touch, play, talk, do things with, there's things to do. So I don't think that Zelda was dead. It's just it portrays a world reviving itself because of a war that from 100 years ago. It's rebuilding itself. So obviously you're not going to see a lot of towns, but I think DLC could change that. If they want to expand on the growth of the world after the story, that would be cool for DLC.
Yeah.
Just to see new townships propping up and stuff like that, because you get to make a city, so that's cool.
I love that. Was my favorite.
That was pretty
mission.
cool. Yeah, get to watch the city come to like, give us this, give us that. So that would be nice to be able to like expand on as far as the story is concerned. Is watching things come together, you know, from the end and stuff like that. But
that was my favorite. I love that.
I think open worlds do. I think the term open world is very misleading at this point.
Yeah.
Zelda is just true open world, and everything else that came before it was just a sandbox. It was mostly a sandbox that was dead. That's how I felt about a lot of the former open worlds.
Yeah.
Big place you can walk around in.
It's the big shit. Like the largest games are open world now, and they get the most attention, so everybody wants to copy it. It's the same thing with Call of Duty.
You got like with Assassin's Creed Origin, it's like it's got this big open world place, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of places you can't really interact with things or do things and climb on and stuff like that. Like there's gonna be some stuff that you can't do nothing with, and you're just looking at it like, huh? Like, why are you? What is the purpose of this? My thing is, if it's open world, you should be able to interact with it on some point. If it's there to look pretty, and I use my character to punch something or hit something, and it sits there and it doesn't get disturbed, that's not open world to me.
Like Breath of the Wild has changed how I look at open world games. It's just how it is. It's why It's why I couldn't enjoy Horizon. I feel like Horizon's a very lackluster game, and people get mad, and that's whatever. But like, that's just how I feel about the game. I don't like it. I guess I should have played it before Zelda, but like,
that was my mistake. Because I was playing some Zero Dawn. I was like, it's interesting. It definitely is. I'm not gonna downplay it, but to put it in an open world setting after playing Breath of the Wild, no. It's not open world. It's a linear game with open world possibilities that weren't, realized. Period. That's what it is.
It is what it is. Like
whatever.
Yeah. Is there any more?
Nope. That's it. No real questions.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and end it here, peoples. I've been playing this demo for quite a while. I didn't know it was this big. I just stopped much earlier last time.
How long is that? How long you been playing?
I've been playing this demo the whole podcast.
The whole podcast is still going down. That is a long.
Yeah, I didn't know there was all these extra worlds. I just stopped playing after the boss last time.
Oh, me too. I guess I should go back and play some more.
So much extra shit.
Damn.
What is this? Okay, but yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Why don't you guys do your outros?
Yeah, go ahead, Nia. Get your stuff.
What is up, everybody? It's your girl, Nia, the Video Gamer. I apologize for my voice. A lot of people are in the chat like, what's wrong, Nia? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm sick, guys, so I apologize for my lack of talking and then my horrible voice, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. I came through anyways. You can find me on Twitter at TheVideoGamHer. You can find me on YouTube at TheVideoGamHer. You can find me on Twitch as Nia Loves Minty. So make sure you're following me on all of my social media. And even when I'm not making videos, you guys can catch me ranting about Fire Emblem Warriors on Twitter with Alex. And, it's lit, fam. It's lit.
It's fun.
Why does Real Gamer have a picture of Super Metal Dave running from a... Oh my god.
Anyway, so my name is Kuuppon. I'm a struggle gamer, and you can find me at Kuuppon Stives on YouTube and on Facebook. You can find me at Kuuppon on Twitter and Twitch. And yeah, I'll probably be streaming tomorrow, maybe, possibly some other time and whatnot. So I mean, yeah, just you'll find me pretty much anywhere and everywhere talking shit, because that's what I do.
Alright, and yes, Active Sin here. Follow me on Twitter. Here we go, Active Sin Gaming. I only talk about wrestling and video games on here, so if you want to talk about other stuff, don't, please. Okay,
Don't come on asking about waifus and wedding dresses.
Don't come and ask me about waifus. I will block you, because I'm not interested. Join our Discord, Team Red Gaming. We're generally in here having fun, talking trash. Oop, I'm in the wrong group there. Join our. They can still hear me, but my mic was still going. But yeah, join the Team Red Gaming Discord. It's pretty fun. We're chilling in there. Other than that, I don't think there's any other things I'm trying to sell you on. I guess
buy t-shirts. Oh wait, we don't have those yet.
I ain't got no t-shirts yet, so stop asking.
Give us a minute. We'll have some Team Red Talks t-shirts too. We'll have the
eventually
Waifu Warrior t-shirts.
Team Red coasters for you guys, and maybe some
Yeah.
crazy shit like that. Oh shit! I gotta watch this.
We'll have the struggle posters and stuff.
a lot of struggle stuff coming.
We'll get some struggle shirts too.
Oh yeah, Cuphead this Friday. I'll be playing that. I'm not sure what else I'll be playing. I'm done with this demo, I guess.
Oh
but
damn!
yeah,
This is a 2-hour-long, 2.5-hour-long.
Yeah, well,
podcast.
yeah, this is a good
You
podcast. You guys like this new layout where I can play games and you guys can see all the articles at the same time? I don't know. I was trying it out this time. I don't know if it's any good. You guys let me know in the chat.
It looks
here.
nice. I like it.
But they're still gonna complain about the audio issues.
Yep.
The audio's fine. There's no problem.
Nobody was complaining, but it's funny when they do.
Your new layout is lit, but we're still gonna complain about the audio.
Goddamn audio problems. All right,
We
whatever.
couldn't hear Nia today. She was sick. Talks louder.
That is out of my control. But I'm hungry as hell. I gotta go eat dinner, so we're out of here. See you later, people.
Fat ass.